underway. South Adelaide. South Adelaide.
I'm going to go for an upset at the Bay.
Upset the Bays.
Yep.
Now I'm tipping South Adelaide, and this game is about to get underway. You could not get better conditions here at the Adelaide Oval. Absolutely superb. The sun is shining. The umpire's holding the ball aloft, and Rob Popplestone is about to get this game underway for 5DN football.
It will be Wiggins up against Feast, and Feast has been cleaned up in the last 2 weeks at centre bounces. This time it didn't happen, but one player was cleaned up, and it was a double Blues player in Brodie Atkinson. A bit slow to get to his feet. Pyman having words also in the centre of the pitch with a few Sturt players. But Brodie Atkinson takes the free kick. Quick handball to Weatherold, who goes towards that outer side, looking for Feast. The kick didn't find its mark, and as a result, Kennedy just eases the pressure momentarily. You'd expect it to be fierce and tough early. It is too. At this stage, though, a bounce down will take place outer side of the ground, centre wing.
Always going to happen, Poppy. Watch Pyman run straight off the square and take Brodie Atkinson out. It was a good, fair hip and shoulder.
Big Wiggins doing the ruck work, wins the tap. It goes down towards Powell. He's tackled and thrown into the ground. Little Zilla there waiting for the crumbs, but the umpire blows the whistle and we'll have a bounce across half forward, the southern end of the Adelaide Oval. And as I mentioned, it looks an absolute treat. Andy Pay's out there playing his, probably 307th game, and it's his testimonial tonight.
It is indeed.
And you're hosting the function. It should be a ripper as the ball goes out towards Cluzak. The Eagles into attack. The handball over towards Higgins. Now McClure paddles the ball forward. In fact, he paddled it through for a point.
Free kick, Kim.
Free kick. So McClure for a push in the back as we just try and contend with these grandstand poles here at the Adelaide Oval. It would be the worst place to call a game of football from in the world.
Kim brought down after he tapped the ball on into the path of a couple of teammates. Pulled down by the hand on top of the shoulder. Definite free kick, and he's only about 15 metres out, straight in front.
And Poppy, a good pickup, James McClure, a very good player, only 23 years of age, and as Barry Curtin mentioned, 15 metres out. He's banged it through. The Eagles are off to a flyer. They kicked the first goal on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard.
Good work there by McClure. It was very good work, and I think that the Eagles have set the standard already in the opening few minutes of this game, BC, because Pyman has laid a good tackle and laid a heck of a good shirt front the first minute, and they mean business.
Yes, and I don't know whether that's still allowed in football. They're really trying to umpire that out of the game, but he came off the square from centre half forward, but basically, and went straight at Atkinson, and he's a key player, Atkinson.
He is indeed. Feast in that centre square with Atkinson and Weatherold. Richter also. They're all Sturt players. Wiggins gets the tap. Actually, Feast nearly stole it on the way through. Pays comes through. Beautiful standing start torpedo that gathers 50 metres, coming through quite strongly, but unfortunately illegally was Cluzak, who was judged to have kicked in danger, and the free kick will go to Maloney for the double Blues. Just on the arc of the defensive 50, he'll go towards that outer side centre wing. Wiggins is there, over the top, White, big leap, didn't take the ball with him, comes to ground, and it's the Eagles there first. Feast takes ball and player over line, and a throw-in will take place just in front of the Victor Richardson gates. We've been going just on 3 minutes of this first quarter.
And a good crowd, Poppy, I'd say, around 4,000 or 5,000?
I think it might build too in the next 30 minutes.
Yes,
it is a good crowd.
Sensational day, so if you have time, pop down to the Adelaide Oval. You'll see a beauty. The Eagles trying to get into the fight here in the SANFL, and the umpire's blown the whistle again, and there will be a bounce on the outer side in front of the Victor Richardson gates. Absolutely perfect conditions here, and look at the shadows on the ground from the big lights here, and they're actually up. Well,
there's only three
shadows.
Yes,
three of them are. Yes, we won't leave that alone. They've copped a belting over that. And copping a belting there is a West Torrens player. In fact, a Sturt player, and the free kick will go the way. I think it's the big fella in Stephen White. So White has the football, and he drives it in long, looking for Julian Burton. He's been in sensational form. The ball's passed away, comes down to ground. Poultryman there, tackled high. The umpire saw it. Don't stop for the Poultryman. Now, who's saying that?
No, I know don't stop for the ferryman was
Christa Berg, very good. As the ball now comes out to Brett Leal, and he's a very good young player too, only playing his 14th league game, yet to kick a goal. That's because he plays in defence. He drops in a short pass to Nicky Pesh. Some say he could win the McGarry medal this year. The Eagles go forward again. This time the short pass goes in and finds Cluzak. In fact, it's not Cluzak. It is number 53, and that's Jared Harvey. And Harvey, playing his 6th game for the Eagles, drove it down towards the half-forward line, but Simon Feast takes the mark, plays on quickly looking for Atkinson, and punching the ball away again is Harvey over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw-in. In fact, that was Poultryman. We'll have a throw-in in front of the grandstand.
We will indeed, and that song was Don't Pay the Ferryman. You could stop him if you like, you just couldn't pay him as far as Christian Berg was concerned.
Well, you'll win the $30 to Manny Seafood Restaurant then.
Rogers takes the ball out of the air from the boundary throw in ruck. Handball's a quick one, but Harvey, who was the player he was looking for, was taken to ground. and another bounce down to take place.
And Poppy, just on that, our friends from Manny's Seafood Restaurant, they're donating a $30 voucher for the best caller between 5 and 6. So give us a ring on 8305 1323 after 5 tonight.
Just on 5 minutes, first quarter, the Eagles one straight goal. The Double Blues are yet to score, and the ball is in front of our 5DN commentary position. Grandstand side, centre wing, with a host of thousands around the ball. Around about 16 plays, in fact. Ziller and Pesh around the ball with Higgins. Also Rogers and Andrew Pays. His testimonial tonight at St Paul's Entertainment Centre. Ball bounced down. Rogers takes the ball out again, doing some rucking duties today. A little bit of a new role for Andrew Rogers, but he's the sort of player, BC, that can handle any role given to him.
He's an outstanding player in the SANFL. He was a good player for the Cats. We've got a blood rule here, I believe. Or no, it's a little bit of how do you do between Atkinson and also Poultryman. But he's been a terrific player. Great defender.
Has to. Again, another bounce down to take place. The game early has had a lot of bounce downs because of the intensity of both sides. The bounce down, White gets the tap. Weatherald fortuitously off his boot, almost stealing it was Twitt, but Harvey comes in, steals the ball and kicks long. Powell was his target, or in fact he was first there. Double Blues have got the players around the fall of the ball, but they can't run it over the boundary line. Higgins tries to keep it in play. He can't, and in fact, at the end of the day, it was Barnaby French who took the ball at a bounce, half-forward, grandstand side, the Eagles into attack.
And no real breeze here, Barry, to talk about.
None at all. It's as you said earlier, Kim, absolutely outstanding conditions to play footy in.
As the Double Blues go forward, punched away from Jared Twitt, the ball comes to ground, going through strongly is Higgins there. He was tackled. The crowd one holding the ball, and they get it. I don't think he had a lot of time to dispose of the football then, but the free kick will go the way of the Double Blues. So they go into attack, and it's through Nathan Irvin, and he puts it inside 50, looking for Burton, but fisted away. Good defensive play there by the big fella in Hodgson. And he's a likely type at Travis Hodgson, only 21 years of age, playing his 10th league game, but certainly very hard at it.
Excellent bit of work there, because that was a terrific kick to Burton. It would have hit him straight on the chest. That was a good piece of courageous back play.
Okay, throw in, left forward pocket, northern end of the Adelaide Oval. The ball's punched down, and it was done nicely by Brent Fruin. Now an opportunity for Irvin again. He goes back towards a teammate. In turn, it goes out towards Jared Twitt. He couldn't control it. Brett Leal paddles the ball forward. Now a chance for Timmy Weatherall. Tried to put the foot on the accelerator, but there was nothing there. But he's got good support there in Adam Lange. Lang gets it over the top, and a host of players jump on top. Look at little Jason Ziller, the man that sleeps in a matchbox there on the bottom of the pack. And all things getting a little bit willing there across the half-forward line.
And that has tended to be the case over the last few years between the Eagles and the Double Blues, and I think more so today with so much riding on this game. Batura has just come onto the ground for the Double Blues. Ronnie Richter with what appears to be a calf injury is being attended to on the sideline, so a change already. Not good news for the Double Blues. The ball bounced down at centre half, back for the Eagles. A quick kick forward through Pesh, and not a good bounce anyway, puts Batura under all sorts of problems. He's taken a ground ball and all by Pyman, who appeals for the free kick, doesn't get it. A bounce down centre square here at Adelaide Oval. 8 minutes gone of the first quarter. The Eagles one straight goal. Double Blues yet to score.
Good game of football.
Very
tight early.
Bounce down, Wiggins and Feast. Feast, quick tap. Maloney tries to get a kick, has an airy though. Twitt is on the end of it. Good work, good hands. Atkinson, now Weatherald, left foot, inside the 50. Rogers, good contest with White. Rogers takes the ball, quick handball. His handball found a teammate in Hodges. His handball didn't find a teammate, and now the ball inside 50 and loose before it's been set upon by 3 or 4 players, and a bounce down.
Dangerous handball there. Rogers did the right thing by giving it to the player running past, but he in turn went sideways across the ground, about 30 metres out from goal. Very dangerous.
That was young Hodgson, and one gets the feeling when you're under the pump like that, deep into in defence, you should throw it on the old boot. That's what Hodgson should have done. So there's a bounce. Fruin is there. So too White. White taps it down, or tried to get it out towards Twitt. Kit Continuary is there. The handball now comes out towards Brett Leal. Leal over towards Pays. The veteran should do something with the foot. He drops out a short pass, and it's a beauty, and it finds Higgins. So we've had nearly 9 minutes of this first term. 1 goal on the board. The Eagles are leading. Not a good pass by Higgins. A very ordinary kick. Weatherall's first there. He couldn't take it. Number of players go through strongly. Pays was there. Over to McClure. Now an opportunity now. As Colville takes the football, he goes inside 50, looking for Kluzak. At the back of the pack, they're taking the ball is Geddes, and he clears to the outer spaces for the boundary line for the Blues, and there'll be a throw in on that outer side as we check some scores.
Well, I can tell you that it's the Eagles' one straight goal leading the Double Blues yet to score. But in the first few minutes of the game, Kim, it looks to me as if the Eagles just had that little bit of leg speed around the middle of the park.
Well, they do. Colville's one of those players too, isn't he? As, again, Powell busts the pack at half-back, goes towards half-forward. 3-on-1 contest. Eagles with the numbers around the ball. Good work again by the Eagles. The ball with Pesh, centre square. Kick smothered, still goes towards their 50. Higgins in there fighting hard, as is Powell. Coming in to lend a hand for the Double Blues was Maloney. But again, a bounce down to take place.
Whether it be the game, it's as you said, Poppy, it's a crucial game for the Eagles. There's been a couple of very, very ordinary disposals from them in the last couple of minutes.
Pressure does that, doesn't it? Powell steals the ball from the centre bounce. Who's there? Brucey Lennon's one of them. And the other one is Weatherall. A quick kick inside 50. Getting front position was Lang. He couldn't take the ball. Good work there by the Eagles. They run it out again. And it's good play, in fact, by Holland, whose pace has been of added value to this Eagles side. But his kick let him down, and it's a Sturt mark. Out of side, half-back flank, a long leg. But it's taken over the boundary line. Half-forward line now. Outer side of the ground for the Double Blues.
Yeah, that was Geddes, Poppy, and not the best kick, very close to the boundary line, so we'll have it thrown across the half-forward line, outer side of the Adelaide Oval, northern end. You're on 5DN football, a number of players there. Big Fruin is in there. He gets a hand to the ball. Doesn't go to anyone in particular, though, but picking it up quickly there was Darren Holland, the man that Poppy mentioned a moment ago, has plenty of pace, and playing in the long-sleeve jumper, boys. I thought it would have been a little warm for that.
Yes, well, not many players playing those Guernseys now. Barry, you you never used to play in one?
No, I never used to play.
Baz would have wore the old lace-ups. They were the days. Actually, we had them at the Eagles many years ago. But right. The ball on the outer side there. And you're right, boys, not a lot happening here at the moment, but certainly a lot of pressure and great intensity out there, but no fluency in the game.
Yeah, hard to get a kick, but when the Eagles are getting kicks, their kicks have not been all that flash. And they're the ones, Sturt are falling down across half-forward early. The Eagles are bringing it out okay, but they're kicking the position.
Well, the Double Blues have gone inside 50 on 5 occasions, the Eagles twice, and it's still on the outer side on the half-forward flank as the Double Blues go inside 50 again, but it goes straight out towards Kennedy. Kennedy all by himself. Mark Kennedy, a very good player, punches the ball out long, and it goes out the way of Brett Burton. Burton handballs to himself. He's trying to shake off the tag. He gets around onto the right boot. Nice-looking pass, and he finds the big fella in Wiggins, and Feast gives him one behind the ear just to go on with. So nothing much in that, all part of the game as Wiggins puts the ball inside. Nice looking kick, and the mark has been taken.
Pyman, I think.
Yeah, by Robbie Pyman in that right forward pocket here at the Adelaide Oval in front of the Bradman stand. And boys, I was at Don's 90th birthday on Thursday night. An incredible evening.
Great evening, apparently, from all reports.
Yeah, it really was, Poppy.
Little photograph that you bid for and you ended up getting for $22,000.
No, we missed out, but Darren Cale and I did have a go. I think that's a collector's item, and whoever bought that for 22 grand did very well. Now, Rob Pyman, I can't see him, boys, because he's in the right forward pocket and we can't see from there. But he's taking a long time to dispose of this football.
He's just gone over and having a Balfour's pie, Kim, over the corner. But here he is. He's about, I've got him here, he's trying the check side. The check side looks good off the boot. It's just going to go to the right-hand side of the goalpost, though. And one behind to the Eagles. Now 1-1-7 Sturt. After, what have we got, 12, nearly 13 minutes of football, yet the score kicking to the northern end of the Adelaide Oval.
The thread goal, the skipper for the Double Blues, will bring the ball back into play. The Eagles with a zone. Powell deep in the one pocket. Geddes going towards the outer side, and Threadgold goes towards that outer side. He finds Lennon, though. Lennon feeds off to Weatherall. Good little player, this bloke. He really goes in hard. He's fairly light. White with a long handball. The Double Blues have found a bit of space now, and it's Kennett from outside 50. Kick to the top of the square. A mongrel punt.
Hodgson
Best
did
describe
well,
that
Poppy.
kick, and you're right too, Kimbo. Hodgson did do well and thumped the ball. Even though he was in the gun position, the ball was coming not ideally to mark, and so he thought go for safety in the boundary.
A big mongrel floater, and I think he did the right thing there. That would have been very difficult to take.
Good setup by the Blues, though, from defence.
Okay, throw in the right forward pocket, northern end of the Adelaide Oval, in front of the beautiful historic scoreboard here at the Adelaide Oval, and that's something that Sturt are yet to get on, but they're an opportunity now as they go towards goal, and that appeared to be Mark Pachura, who's drifted down from defence. But he's managed only a point, so the Double Blues are on the board. They're 1 point. They trail the Eagles 7 points. Let's check some scores from other games.
Okay, at Albertson Oval, Port doing very well. 3-2 to Norwood, 1 behind. Elizabeth Oval, Central's a 1-2-8, West 1-1-7. Glenelg get to score to South 3 straight goals, 18 at the MCG. Geelong 6-5-41. Essendon 9-2-56. Margin there of 15 points. Essendon were in front a while ago by something like 25 points. At Waverley Park, Hawthorn leading by 19 points over Fremantle. Let's go back to Adelaide Oval now.
Where the score here is the Eagles 1-1-7, Sturt just 1 behind, and we've played 14 and a half minutes of this first quarter. The ball currently on the half-forward line for the Double Blues, where Colville ties it up with White. The bounce down will take place, and underneath that pack is Robertson, the ex-Norwood player here, now playing for the Double Blues over the past few seasons, a good contributor too.
And did have a stint with Sydney.
He did too, yep, and he's been a very good player. Coming through hard there was Fruin for the Eagles, thumps the ball towards that outer side centre wing. Powell will be first there. Pelfreyman applies pressure and then tackles French to boot. The ball now again will have a bounce down, outer side, just inches inside the boundary line, in front of the Victor Richardson gates, half-forward line. The Eagles standing up tall at the moment, Kimbo.
Yeah, looking pretty good, Poppy, and look at these field umpires. They're unbelievable, aren't they? He had to bounce that actually about a metre from the line, but he's come back in about 5 metres to take the pressure off himself. But it's the Eagles going forward again through Darren Holland. Heaps of pace. Look at him burning the turf there. He's run too far. He had to. How far did he run? Well, I think the adrenaline was going through his system. The umpire's blown the whistle. Gee, he showed some pace, but he just forgot to bounce it. He ran about 30 metres.
I thought he was going home, Kim.
Almost a young Kim Dillon there with that pace.
On his bike.
Yeah, exactly.
Downhill
And
with a wind behind him.
So it's that was a great opportunity for the Eagles, and they've blown that one.
And
so
he missed, Kim. He missed as well.
So, well, it's the Double Blues now, and they kicked it out towards the Victor Richardson gates. The ball hits the ground. The Eagles looking to go forward again. Archie out there. In fact, it's Continuary. And in there, a strong tackle by Brodie Atkinson, but the umpire will bounce the ball out on that outer wing once again. Beautiful conditions here on 5DN football.
A good contest between Continuary and Holland, because both players have got a little bit of pace, but Holland has got a little bit of aggro in him as well, and he likes these big pressurised games, and he likes the space as well when he can use that pace. And I think there'll be a good contest between those two players. Continuary in the last few weeks, BC's been pretty good as well.
Yes, he has. I agree with that. And I also look forward to seeing young Leal, number 20 out here for the Eagles, who was brilliant against Sturt on the last occasion. A tough, no-nonsense half-back flanker who's got a big job on Twit.
He has, and his father, Greg Leal, just saw him in the stand a moment ago as a spear tackle, as you heard Kim Dillon describe it, on Pelfreyman for the Eagles was applied, and he's okay. He's up, and the ball will be bounced down. Again, outer side, centre wing. The Eagles 1-1-7. The Double Blues just 1 behind. Again, they just about bust that pack through Continuary. He finds Atkinson. Atkinson with a long searching handball. Can't find the target. He was looking for Irvin. Coming in to lend a hand now is Holland. He's taken the ground. Again, another bounce down. Not much rhythm, as Kim Dillon just told you, and not a lot of pace. It's not for the faint-hearted out there, BC.
Terrific work from Kennedy there, the Eagles' defence, because Atkinson had set up a pretty good handball there, but Kennedy, with some desperation, has forced the ball up.
So there'll be a bounce down outside 50, the attacking area for Sturt. The ball goes out towards the Eagles, trying to weave their way through. There was Jared Harvey. Now they're going across goal, courtesy of Rogers. Gets it over towards Pesh. They go right across goal. Out there looking for Hodgson, who takes the mark on his chest. So the defence is standing tall for the Eagles at the moment. The short chip over the top to Pays. He's got 3 to beat. He beats 1, and fortuitously the ball goes over the boundary line. And I think Andrew Pays can count his lucky stars there, because he was under the pump.
Poor option, Kim, really.
Well, that's on 2 occasions Hodgson's done that now. And we see the boundary umpire there. He's got the sunglasses on, looking pretty slick. The ball is tapped down from Fruin to Pelfreyman. Good hands to Holland. Pays couldn't take it, though. It was a little hot. Going through strongly is Higgins. The ball's still inside. Taken by Seamus Maloney. He kicks around his body, and the diving mark's been taken by Jared Harvey. And he's looked pretty impressive, Poppy.
Limited opportunities at the ball, but what he's done pretty well. He goes towards centre wing now. Burton, well, up he went, and he went down about 5 seconds before the ball arrived, and head first. On a muddy day, it would have looked like an ostrich. A free quick kick, though, to the Double Blues. Maloney kicks into the man on the mark, who was Burton. Higgins, nice work. Sidestep 2 players, and then with a bit of space goes looking for Wiggins. Feast reads the flight of the ball better, though, while Pyman calls for the longer option. But Feast takes a good mark. Half-back line now, centres the ball up, where he's got Patura all by himself, and Continuary as a runner. Goes past Continuary and uses Weatherald. Weatherald gives it back to Patura, who's usually a good kick of the ball from centre of the Adelaide Oval. He kicks oh so long. Burton was his option. He couldn't take the ball. Atkinson now, well, I thought he threw that, but he found his teammate in Twit, who was tackled heavily. Atkinson was tackled well, and the umpire said he had no chance of getting rid of that ball. The tackle by Higgins was very good, and a bounce down will take place.
It's been a highlight properly. The tackling in this game in the first 20 minutes has been outstanding, and really has been under enormous pressure. It's very hard to get a kick out there at the moment.
Gee, the defence of the Eagles has been exceptional in the early stages of this game, and we've had nearly 20 minutes of the first term. The ball goes out towards Weatherald. He was tackled when not in possession. The umpire said play on. The ball came out towards Wiggins. He gets the kick away. Burton looks for a free kick for a push in the back. The umpire won't buy into that, and the mark has been taken by Barnaby French. So he's kicking from the half-back line. He drives it up forward, past the grandstand wing. Palfreyman punches away, taken beautifully by Continuary. Now the ball goes back for the... who's that, Poppy? That's Kennett, that's the one. As the ball is deep in the square, and Hodgson concedes the point. And apologies to Toby Kennett. And the Double Blues get a point, so they have 2 now, and they trail by 5 points at the 20-minute mark of this first term.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's hard to pick games of football. When you get conditions like this, you would think it would be 5 goals apiece here, and you know, real slick play. At the moment, we've only seen the 1 goal scored in 20.5 minutes of football.
Quite unusual. Brent Fruin from the Eagles against a Sturt, the zone defence, goes looking for Wiggins. He's got 2 to beat, but the Eagles with the numbers to the fall of the ball, Pays, tries to find Telferman and finds that play. In fact, it was McClure. Coming through now is Batura. He runs the ball over the boundary line and out of play.
Gee, how quick did he get that on his boot, McClure? That was very good play.
Very good work under pressure. He's a very good player.
Good vision, yeah.
And he's kicked the only goal of this game to date. The Eagles 1-1-7. The Double Blues just 2 behinds. The ball thrown in. Members side, centre wing. McClure another quick left-footed kick to the hands of Colville. Good hands, clever hands. Zilla to Burton. He's a good grab, and he grabs this one despite the pressure from French. He's inside 50 on a 45-degree angle. He'll probably kick from just inside 50 metres, and that'll test him.
This is what he has to do, though, Poppy. Burton, he's on a couple of occasions tried to use the body against French and has been out bustled.
Doesn't take a lot of time over the ball and kicks for goal. It looks pretty good off the boot. Well, it splits the centre in actual fact. So the Eagles now on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard. Compliments of that goal from Brett Burton. Move on to 2-1-13. The Double Blues 2 points as we check scores.
At the MCG, it's Geelong 7-7, Essendon 10-3, at Waverley Park, Hawthorn 7-5, Fremantle 5-3, at Albertson Oval, Port Adelaide 4-3-27, Norwood 2 behinds, Elizabeth Oval, West Adelaide 4-1 to Central's 1-4, and at Glenelg Oval, South lead by 6 points. Back to Adelaide Oval.
Yes, where the scoreboard reads the Eagles 2-1-13, leading the Double Blues, just the 2 behinds. The ball back in the centre. The bounce is not a good one. It favours Feast, who taps it down cleverly towards Atkinson. Good run from defence from Robertson. Now it goes over to Continuary. Torpedo punt goes inside 50, but Andrew Rogers, the Rock of Gibraltar, takes a good mark in defence. Kicks the ball out wide, and he finds Pyman, who's drifted down. Pyman copped one late, and he's down. Gee, I didn't think there was a lot in that. May have just taken the wind out of him.
Oscar.
Well, an Oscar, but in actual fact, it should be a penalty.
It should be 25, you're right.
I think he might have overplayed the fact. As a matter of fact, Pyman, it might have cost him 25 there.
It happens as Pyman puts the ball along the half-forward line. Big leap by Burton. The ball at the back of the pack and goes over the line. So we'll have a throw-in in front of those temporary stands.
I'm just keeping my eye on Pyman here because he likes to shape up pretty quickly. And no, he hasn't. He runs past Lennon.
He'd be having a word, though, Poppy.
Oh, yes, he loves a word, Robbie Pyman. A shame he can't fight to back it up. But nevertheless, he won't stop trying. The ball out of sight of the ground here, in front of the Victor Richardson gates, but just probably half-forward type or half-forward side for the Eagles. Coming through. Good work, McClure again. Zilla, left foot kick inside 50 now. Burton waits for the ball to bounce to him, and he gets a nice bounce too. Runs outside 50, gives ground but keeps possession, and has McClure with a quick kick. McClure goes to Pesh. Pesh over the top to Holland. Now he's got a bit of space and he'll use it. He'll play on and he should goal, and he does. Good work, the Eagles. They used the ball well there. They didn't rush the play and they got the reward. 3-1-19, Sturt 2 points. Very good.
5DM, the talk of Adelaide, is now the read of Adelaide. Sound Business Solutions, a magazine published by 5DM. Sound Business Solutions shares our business success with you, with great ideas, stories, creative thoughts, and a touch of humour. The Reed of Adelaide, 5DM Sound Business Solutions. Subscription is free, at least for now. For your trial copy, phone Jenny Reed Smith on 8300 1052.
Back here at the Adelaide Oval, it's the Eagles 3-1-19, off to a good start against the Double Blues. Just the 2 points, 24 minutes into the first term, and Wiggins wins the tap, gets it down towards James McClure, throws it onto the right boot, puts it up high. Pyman underneath it, couldn't take the mark. It goes down towards Higgins, but Jared Twitt's underneath the football. In fact, he's over top of the football. He's got the football, but he's been held as well, and the umpire will bounce. So about 65 metres out from the southern goal. And it's the Eagles looking pretty slick, Barry.
Yes, and the Eagles have only got a two-man forward on. We'll come back to that in a moment.
OK, Wiggins gets the tap. Tell me when you want to come back to it, mate. As Twitt gets the tap out, and it goes out the way of Geddes. Geddes clears to the outer side. Batura is there, son of. His father played for Richmond, I think, boys. As the ball goes off the boot of a Eagles player, and the free kick will be taken for out on the full on the outer side. So the Double Blues have the football right in front of the Victor Richardson gates.
They do, and they're looking for a winner up forward. As Barry Curtin told you that 5 minutes ago, they're just struggling to convert. They've had enough of the play inside 50. Again, they'll go inside 50 now through Batura again. It's a one-on-one duel, this one. Burton's the option. Yeah, good, strong mark. A mark of a player in form, and he's certainly been in form the last month. Second on the goal-kicking ladder to Adam Richardson. And he marks just metres out. He's kicked 58 goals and 18, so his conversion's very, very good. Just metres out on a pretty tight angle, though, mind you, Barry, but full forwards do kick these ones, good ones at least.
And he's a pretty good kick, Julian Burton. I have to call him Mr. Burton because he's my daughter's phys ed teacher at college.
Is that right?
I thought you'd gone back to school, Barry. Some have suggested that.
So Burton, he's going to walk this first goal in for the Double Blues, and he's hit the post. And probably that's a good reflection of how early in this game Sturt's fortunes have fallen, because 26 minutes into this first quarter, it's the Eagles 3-1-19 on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard, and the Double Blues, Kim, just 3 behinds.
Yeah, and they want to be careful. If the Eagles get another one before this quarter's out, they'll be very hard to catch. And this will be a fair barometer as to how good Sturt are, as the ball was brought in short and not a good kick. Sturt an opportunity. Burton jumps over the top, and I think the Eagles will be pretty happy for a dead heat in that situation.
Well, the Eagles have made a few mistakes in that last line of defence, and Sturt haven't made them pay yet, Barry.
And that's very true. And I was about to say that, Poppy. That's the third kick within inside 50 that has been extremely dangerous.
Who was that, boys? Was it Fruin?
It was Fruin.
Yeah, brought the ball back into play, and it's Hodgson that has the job on Burton today as it goes down to McClure, perhaps the best man on the ground for mine. It goes out towards Higgins, has a couple to beat, gets it back towards McClure. Good hands to Palfreyman, who's found some form over the last 6 weeks or so, but that's not a good kick. It goes straight to Feast. Interesting, boys. Feast not getting into the game. Wiggins taking him out of the game at this stage. Feast drives it up close to the 50-metre line. White took the mark. In fact, it is White. No, it's not. It's Irwin. Geez, a bit bigger close-up, isn't he? Big lad to play around the midfield. So it's Nathan Irvin will kick as the siren sounds. They will go back now. He just reassessed the situation. He'll be kicking from about 58 metres.
Kim, he's not a bad kick, this fella. I've seen him on a number of occasions. He looked very confident when he walked back.
Yeah. Torpedo won't get it.
Oh,
have a look at that. It's,
give him a rap.
It didn't make the distance, Barry. So, well, in all fairness to Irvin, he had to have a go. He was 58 metres out. So quarter time here at the Adelaide Oval. The Eagles leading 3-1-19. The Double Blues, as Rob Popplestone said, have squandered some opportunities. They're on 3 points. It's a 16-point advantage on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard. We'll take a break, then we'll be back with the second quarter in our match of the day here at the Adelaide Oval.
Yep.
And he needs a little bit of space as the umpire holds the ball aloft for the start of the second term here at the Adelaide Oval. 5DN football, your match of the day. The Double Blues taking on the Eagles. And the umpire whacks the ball into the terra firma, and Big Wiggins wins the tap nicely, but it goes straight down towards Seamus Maloney, who throws it onto the boot. They go forward looking for White. He couldn't take it. Jared Twitt has a fumble, but has time to recover. Nice evasive skills as he drives the ball towards goal, but he's not accurate, and Barry, that's gone out of bounds, I'd say, on the left forward pocket, the southern end of the Adelaide Oval, and it is still the Eagles with a 16-point advantage.
Same result with the Eagles set up in the second term. Just Cluzak now is the only man forward of centre for the Eagles.
He is. They started off this second quarter as they finished the first, the Double Blues. Their efforts up forward, or their finishing, has been disappointing. The Eagles now through Zilla. Defensive 50 towards the outer side of the ground. Good work there by Burton. Picks it up, disposes of an opponent, goes back, finds Pelfreyman. Half back line to half forward line. Pyman's the target. Hands to ball, couldn't bring it in. Wiggins, nice long hands. Can he find a teammate? He can. It's Pays. Pays has a runner in Pesh. Pesh, it looks good off the boot. Can he find Kluzak? He can. Good passage of play, the Eagles. Pretty crisp. And now Kluzak plays on quickly. He's got Higgins in the goal square. Ooh. Was he taken high? He wasn't. No free kick paid. The ball punched over the line and through the goals. Another behind for the Eagles. They're 3-3, a total of 21. In fact, 3-2, a total of 20. Sturt just 3 behinds on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard.
And they could be a fraction further ahead, the Eagles. They could. They've wasted a couple of balls as well. That kick there really should have been a shot for goal.
Yep. Probably fair to say as the ball is brought back in by Threadgold that Sturt have possibly gone into their 50. Well, they definitely have gone into the 50 on more occasions than the Eagles, but the Eagles playing with a lot more system. Now the ball on the outer side with Nathan Irvin. He drives it up towards the 50 on the outer side, southern end of the Adelaide Oval. The ball comes to ground. Rogers will be content to take the ball over the line, and that in fact is what he does. So the captain of the Eagles, Andrew Rogers, will now contest the throw-in. What a great player he's been for the Eagles. Woodville, then Geelong, then the Eagles.
Yeah, terrific player, Kim. He always has been. Now, the Eagles are having trouble when they come forward because of that setup up forward. They've got no one to kick to. They're running very hard.
They are. Fruin takes the ball out of the boundary throw-in. It's 6th versus 1st in the SANFL table. Sturt, the minor premiers for this season, but the Eagles are bordering on a top 5 spot.
And Poppy, just quickly, the last time these two sides met was round 14. We called the game at the Woodville Oval. The Eagles 15-10 defeated Sturt 7-12 as the Eagles go forward again. And Barry Curtin, I'll get to your thoughts as the ball goes towards the boundary line and, in fact, over the line. It was round 14 that you said Andrew Rogers was your bet for the McGarry medal. Do you want to take that back?
I said he was a dark horse for the McGarry medal because he plays, so every time I see him play, he would be in my best 3.
And how often do you see him play?
Oh, well, I don't just see the Eagles a lot, Kim. You might see them more than me, but I've always thought he's a terrific player, and every time I see him play, he plays well. So
no, that was a fair call.
He must be an umpire's vote catcher.
He does poll well, doesn't he?
Yeah. He does poll well, and he's a very steady player.
A fair player.
And he's a very steady, fair player, and he really does rule that half back line. He makes it his own, but if he's needed around the ball or up 40, he does that pretty well as well.
And I'll come looking for you if he votes well, Kimbo.
I bet you will. They're going to have another bounce. The ball was thrown in, the players jumped on top, and just on that, Poppy, what about your selection?
My selection, well, I mean, Feast early was almost unbeatable, wasn't he, for the first half a dozen games. Usually Brody Atkinson polls pretty well, and when you've got 2 or 3 vote getters in the same side, it's pretty hard to pick. So look, it really is hard. I'll have a think about it over the next 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll definitely give you the 1, 2, 3.
Well, we look forward to that, mate, as Pays kicks it around his body, and the mark's been taken on the chest by Robbie Pyman. Pyman plays on quickly, arcs around onto the right boot, drives it long, looking for Kluzak up high. The ball comes to ground. Burton doing the crumbing. He's first there, tries to pirouette around the pack. Can't take the football with him. A number of players there, and we'll have a bounce again.
Terrific work from Kluzak there, Kim. What he did do there is go for the marking contest, but when he got in the air, he actually double palmed that down to Burton. He actually saw Burton. That was very intelligent football. That had he got the right bounce, could have come off.
Very clever player, Kluzak. The ball to be bounced in the right forward pocket in front of the scoreboard here at the Adelaide Oval. Now taken by McClure, kicking around his body, and the mark's been taken by Pyman 2 metres out. And in fact, kicking that ball in was, yes, it was McClure. He's been a very handy player, and this will be a certain goal for the Eagles. It will be Robert Pyman's first goal. He's kicked a point, but this time he will be kicking from about 5 metres out, and this is a very handy lead to the Eagles.
Yeah, good work by Kluzak again. The shepherd in the square to allow Pyman to come in and take that mark was good football. Good, sensible, intelligent football.
Robert Pyman, the marketing manager of the Eagles Football Club, he must live down there as he lines them up. He actually kicks it from about 11 metres out and bangs it right through. So the Eagles move along to 4-2-26, leading Sturt 3 points on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard.
And Kim, this game is taking a similar shape to the one at Woodville that we saw earlier in the year, where the Eagles, if you remember, kicked into the breeze in the first quarter, restricted Sturt with a pretty strong breeze, and then blew the game away by half-time. And this game is taking a similar shape.
I know it's only early in the second quarter, but it's showing me already that Sturt have got a way to go if they're going to be a force in the finals. We saw last night when Western Bulldogs and North Melbourne are playing, basically for nothing in respect to their final 8 placing, they both hit that game so hard it was almost like a final. Today, Sturt aren't probably approaching this game, as Phil Carman would have liked.
Yeah, he wouldn't be happy at the moment. Maloney put the ball forward. The crumbs were taken by Twit. The handball off towards Feast. He's on the left boot from about 30 metres out and really should have banged that one through the middle. Offline for a point. So the Double Blues at the 6-minute mark of the second term are still yet to kick a goal in what would be the most magnificent and perfect conditions you could ever wish to play a game of football in.
No problems with that. Fruin from the full-back position will bring the ball towards that outer side. Wiggins, well read. Well read through the air. He handballs to Pays. Pays kicks to a one-on-one contest. It's Burton up against French. Burton got hands to it. French read the crumbs. Handballs to Patura. Now they work it through the centre of the Adelaide Oval through Geddes. He kicks to centre half forward. They've got the runners at the fall of the ball. Atkinson under pressure. Handballs to Weatherall. Weatherall gets around one. Can't get around the second. Lennon picks up the loose ball. A quick kick from a standing start. Only goes as far as Holland. He's 30 metres out from the Double Blues goals. He plays on. Handballs to Pesh. Pesh goes long looking for Pyman. Wasn't the ideal kick. Pays is there lending a hand as well. And now it's Irvin who busts through the pack. Good. Kicks to a leading Burton and he finds him with an inch perfect pass. Burton will line up for the Double Blues' first goal. He's only 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And he's missed one already in that first quarter, BC. He should get this one.
Yeah, and they desperately need it, the Blues. And I agree with everything you've said there, Poppy, about the Blues. They really don't look as committed as the Eagles in this first quarter of it.
No, they don't. Julian Burton, full forward for the Double Blues, second on the SANFL goal-scoring table. With only a 4 or 5 step start, he lines it up, and it's a nice kick off the boot too. Brings up a much-needed goal for the Double Blues.
Beautiful kick.
It was indeed. Myland offers furniture scoreboard. It's the Eagles still leading 4-2-26. Sturt 1-4-10.
That was a great kick by Irving coming out of the middle of the ground. He's hit Burton from, I would say that kick's travelled 50 metres, 55 metres, and hit Burton on a lead on the chest. And that is a full forward's dream. They can get the football down there quickly to Burton. He'll kick a score for them. He's in good form, as you've mentioned. But their forays forward have been a little bit haphazard. And one thing I have noticed about the Blues, a player in particular like Twit, has had his hands on the football a number of times, but just fumbled at the crucial time.
So it's the Eagles by 16 points at the 8-minute mark of the second term as Big Wiggins tried to get the kick away. It was smothered off the boot. It's Irvin about to put his side forward again. He takes one bounce. He's 51 metres out. Lines up on the left foot. Is this the second goal? It is, and it took them about 8 seconds to kick their second goal. Beautiful play by Irvin. So he played a part in both goals for the Double Blues, and they've bounced back, and all of a sudden there's only a 10-point ball game.
Yeah.
5DN Community News with Station Arcade Dental and Teacher Clinic.
The Children's Foundation is a non-profit independent registered charity run by volunteers. They provide recreational camps and day activities for disadvantaged children aged between 6 and 16. But more leaders are needed. There'll be an information night on September 2nd. Phone 8268 7050.
Supporting our community. 5DN 13:23 AM.
9 minutes into the second quarter here at Adelaide Oval. It's the Eagles by 10 points. Ball bounced down. Lennon under the bottom of that pack with Robertson and also Pelfreman. The ball to be bounced down again. Still inside the centre square. Just metres the Eagles side of the centre circle. The Eagles. Now the pressure's back on them. Feast and Wiggins. Wiggins with strength busts the tackle from Feast and kicks towards that outer side. Leading the race was Geddes over Pyman. He turns inwards and kicks long. Coming through was now again Irvin. He has a runner in Lennon. Now Lennon's usually a good finisher. From the 50, he kicks for goal. The umpire does not move, only to look above his head to see the ball go sailing through. The Sturt third goal in 3 minutes. On the Myland Office Furniture scoreboard, it's the Double Blues 3-4-22, trailing the Eagles 4-2-26.
4 years ago, Australia competed at the Commonwealth Games in Canada, coming away with a record hurl of medals. Next month, Australia is sending its largest ever team with a crowd of expectations. From 70 countries will dispute the gold medals, and you can follow their progress every half hour with our Games updates, plus in-depth coverage on Sports Life with Ken Dickin and Neil Barr every weekday from 4. The Commonwealth Games on 5DN.
Back in the centre here, it's a resurgent Sturt as they try to get the ball out of the centre, but it's Zilla who gets the kick away looking for Burton. The ball loose at the back of the pack. Who'll recover first? It's paddling the ball forward there was Barnaby French. He went for the safety of the boundary line and will have a throw in the right forward pocket, and all of a sudden it's the Eagles under the pump.
I'm not sure if they've got the right mix, the Eagles down there. Burton and Kluzak, they probably need one of those two, plus a bloke like a Zilla.
Yes,
a little
right.
crumbing player.
You
But
do
two
need it.
players, they're almost unsure about who should be going for the ball.
Yeah, exactly right. Rob Popplestone as the ball is thrown in again and it's taken by Geddes. Tries to shrug the tackle, gets the kick away. Now taken by Higgins. His kick was smothered as well. He recovers quickly though. He's pretty fleet of foot, Higgins. He gets the ball back towards Palfreyman. Centres the ball nicely. Big Wiggins is in the van but couldn't take the mark, and that's a beauty taken there by the Sturt defender. We'll pick him up in a moment. But he stood his ground beautifully. A very strong mark at the 11-minute mark. 26 plays 22. And it's Scott Robinson with the football. A great mark. Kicks towards the outer side there. Big leap by Feast. Couldn't take the ball. Sun was probably in his eyes. But it's slick work there by Brodie Atkinson. And the destroyer. It's Irvin again as he kicks long on that left boot. Inside 50. Test of courage for Fruin. And I tell you what, 11 out of 10 for that. That is a beautiful mark going back with the flow of the play. And eyes nothing but for the football.
And Burton could have absolutely put him away.
He could have too. Good work though, good courage, and maybe that's the lift the Eagles need to regain their composure. They run it out of the half-back line. Colville under pressure, keeps the ball into play. Who's going to be first there? Zilla's in there with Lennon, and both Lennon, Zilla and the ball go over the boundary line.
Great mark, Poppy. Like we've all been in that position when you're running with the flow of the ball. You don't know what's coming the other way, and gee, he was left open there, but tremendous mark.
It was indeed. The only way I ever got around that was taking a short step just before the ball made contact.
Yeah, but if you grab the hamstring, then you get away with it.
You do. The Stubble Blues go forward again. Good work by them. They're in that right full forward pocket, going forward for the Double Blues, continuing in there lending a hand, but out of play now, a boundary throw-in. We've played 12 minutes in this second quarter. It's the Eagles by 4 points as we check scores.
Albertson Oval, it's all Port Adelaide, 7-4-46 to Nord, just two behinds. Elizabeth Oval, Central's 1-5.
Across the half-forward flank, grandstand side of the Adelaide Oval, just on the southern end. Beautiful conditions here, as we mentioned earlier, about 22 degrees. 13 minutes into this second term, and it is the Eagles by 4 points at the 13-minute mark. The umpire will bounce about 55 metres out from the Sturt goal. They've kicked 3 in this second term, and winning the tap away there nicely was Scott Robinson. Now an opportunity. It's Patura, lines them up onto the left boot. He split the centre, make that 4. They've hit the lead. The Double Blues move along to 4-4, 28. Leading the Eagles 4-2, 26 on the Myland Office Furniture scoreboard.
Time is running out till the year 2000. The Millennium Bug is on its way. How ready are you? Beat the bug now by attending the special Millennium Bug Conference. Here from experts in business, legal and insurance, and LBL. Time's running out. Forewarned is forearmed. The Millennium Bug Conference, 7:30 p.m. September 2nd at Apollo Stadium. Tickets at $20 are available at the door. Beat the Bug September 2nd. Phone 8357-4460 for details. 8357-4460.
Nord have kicked their first goal at Albertson, 1-2 to put Adelaide 8-4. Back to Adelaide Oval now.
Here it's Colville in the centre square of Adelaide Oval. Holland coming through strongly, continually equal to the challenge, and holds him and ball in. Another bounce down to take place. It's the Double Blues hitting the lead for the first time here at Adelaide Oval. 4-4-28. The Eagles 4-2-26.
And it's been Atkinson and Irvin in the centre of the ground. They've won the ball out of the middle regularly since, well, kicked their first goal.
They did. Wiggins, big punch. Colville on the end of it. Burton, back of the pack. Should be in the front. That's where French was and takes the mark. Well, he paid the 25-metre penalty. It probably wasn't there, and it actually doesn't do Sturt any good whatsoever. Threadgold had the ball and was playing on. He stopped play now, and sometimes the umpire needs to sum up a situation quickly, and didn't do it on that occasion.
Wasn't there anyway.
No, I agree. So Barnaby French kicks now, finds Feast, half-forward line, out of side. Rogers on the mark, plays on quickly. Burton's his target. Good, strong mark again. And it's Fruin again. 2 courageous marks.
That's a good grab.
In the space of 5 minutes on the half-back line. He plays on, has Holland with space. Holland has a runner, and it's his skipper in Rogers. He goes for the 1-2, and it comes off too. Holland He's got a ton of toe and uses all the pace he can. Well, Pyman flew very, very high, got hands to the ball but didn't bring it down. And now Irvin from the half-back line plays on. He's got a runner too. It's White. White got away from Pesh. Probably not his direct opponent. He now goes looking for Continuary. Holland on his hammer. That's a good contest. Continuary wins out, gets rid of Holland, but now Pesh goes in to lend a hand and the ball goes out of play. Just 60 metres out from the Double Blues goals as we see another player coming off for the Double Blues. Remembering, of course, BC, that Johnny Richter is always already off, injured with a calf injury.
And this looks like a shoulder, or it's definitely an arm injury too. And it looks like Adam Lang coming off for the Double Blues, and I don't think you might see too much more of him.
Yeah, and onto the ground for the first time is Andrew Whiteman. The ball is on the outer side, and the Eagles have possession. So, yes, the Double Blues under the pump with a few injuries early in this game as the Eagles bring the ball forward on the outer side. Up high was Wiggins. Couldn't control the football. The ball being paddled forward. Opportunity for Pays. It's his testimonial tonight, but that doesn't mean anything at the moment because he couldn't get the football. It goes back to the Double Blues. They have a fumble. Now paddle the ball forward through Robinson. Tries to get a boot away. Couldn't do so. And there'll be a throw-in the right forward pocket about 55 metres out from the Eagles' goal. And they are kicking to the northern end of the Adelaide Oval. And at the moment, they trail by 2 points on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard.
Lane's gone straight down the race, Kim. It's a shoulder injury for sure. I don't think he'll take any further part.
It did not look very good as Zilla tries to get the handball away over to McClure. Couldn't find that player. Players jump on top and the umpire will bounce 51 metres out. 5DN football with Kim Dillon, Rob Popplestone and Barry Curtin. And if you'd like a chat between 5 and 6, give us a call on 8305 1323 and our best caller will receive a $30 voucher for Manny Seafood. McClure was pushed in the back. The umpire said, "Play on, you lunatic." He's got the handball over though, and a goal has been kicked by Palfreyman, I think. And a goal to the Eagles, so maybe it was good play by the umpire. He gave the advantage. The Eagles move along to 5 goals to 32, leading the Double Blues 4-4-28.
Right now, you'll get towering savings on top quality used office furniture at Mile End Office Furniture. 12 whole course of it. Savings on sky-high on items like desks, metal cabinets, cases, bookcases, chairs. Mile End Office Furniture is literally stacked with used office furniture bargains. 12 floors of it. So call in for towering savings today.
107 Henley Beach Road, Mile End.
4-point leaders, the Eagles, but the Double Blues through Atkinson, bust through the centre of the pack. Going high again was Fruin for his third mark. He couldn't bring it down with him, and it goes towards the boundary line. Out of sight of Adelaide Oval, and there will be a boundary throw-in.
And Burton off for the Eagles. Bigland's on. He's gone straight to centre half forward on Barnaby French. Bigland's was delisted by Power in the 1998 season, and he's on another player who's on Port's list in Barnaby French.
He is. The ball thrown back into play. Pash tries to bust a pack. He can't. McClure, though, ends up with the ball. He goes searching for pace. Just inches inside the boundary line. Can he keep it in? He can. It was a nice leg. Gathered 40 metres. First there are the Double Blues. Across their half-forward line now, Irvin. He's been good in this second quarter. Gets around pace, takes a bounce, and usually a good finisher. Kick, centres up the ball. Probably the right option, but too many Eagles players there momentarily anyway. The Eagles, though, win out, and it's through Hodgson, who goes towards centre-half back. He's finishing. He's been pretty ordinary today, and Atkinson takes a strong mark and will send the Double Blues forward again. Goes searching for Burton, who's on a lead. He gets taken under the ball. Kennedy gets a favourable bounce, finds Colville. Colville looks up forward and hasn't really got a lot of options. Biglands runs hard to make position. That's his target now. Biglands taken out of it by French. Good play by French, but the umpire deems it illegal. And in fact, Biglands, no, yes, it will be Biglands who takes the free kick. Centre wing, grandstand side, his first touch. Well, an awkward-looking kicking style, but it's effective. Well, it should have been, because taking the hand or getting hands to the ball was Wiggins. He couldn't bring it down. He's good enough to get a quick handball to Pyman. Pyman under pressure. Handballs to McClure. McClure gets to Zilla. Zilla's taken ball and all right on the half-forward line in front of our 5DN commentary position, and eventually out of play.
Well, I agree with the third call for holding the ball there. I think the Sturt player who came in and picked the ball up, he just dropped it. He just let it go. As soon as he was tackled, I think the umpire was in perfect position. That was the one I would have paid.
20 minutes into the second term on 5DN football. The throw-in across the half-forward flank, grandstand side of the Adelaide Oval. The ball comes down to Poultryman. He's been a steady performer. Nice centering kick towards the head of the square. Underneath it was Kluzak. Couldn't take it. Going through strongly there is the Sturt defence as the ball is close to the boundary line. Weatherald is there, but could not take the ball. And that was good work by Seamus Maloney there, number 39 for the Double Blues. So we'll have a throw-in in the left forward pocket, northern end of the Adelaide Oval. One of the most picturesque ovals you could ever wish to see in the world. And in fact, the best cricket ground in the world, they say, Barry.
And you could almost have a hit.
Yeah, you could today. Right conditions, that's for sure. As Wiggins tries to get the handball over towards Pesh. He breaks out of a tackle. 2 tacklers, in fact. Gets the ball, kicks it around his body. Oh, have a look at that for a leg break. That might be a goal. Look at Kluzak. He thinks it is. Oh. It is. Could you see a more miraculous goal? I don't think so. Incredible kick by Nicky Pesh. Shouldn't have got out of the tackle, boys.
Oh, and that was an unbelievable kick. And isn't it funny, when it was in the air, Kluzak read it best. He knew he was going to get an awkward bounce in the square. Shepherded off beautifully, and the ball did. An absolute Shane Warne, and went straight through the middle.
So the Eagles move along to 6-2. So a funny old quarter of football with Sturt having all the play, and now the Eagles bouncing back late in this quarter. They're on 4-4, the Double Blues, trailing the Eagles 6-2.
And the other local scores: Port Adelaide 8-6 to Norwood 2-2, Centrals 4-6 to West Adelaide 9-4, and South and Glenelg tied at 44 apiece. Back to Adelaide Oval now.
Ball bounced down. Feast gets the tap. Finds his vice-captain in Brody Atkinson. Oh, he just about ran Irvin into trouble. He was equal to it, though. Coming through hard was Hodgson again, but he's taken on the arc of the 50-metre attacking zone for the Double Blues.
And anybody else but Andrew Rogers would have put that fellow into oblivion then, because he was set up for it, but he tackled. His tackle was excellent.
Well, he did the right thing. A lot of times players will
true.
bump, and and the player can often ride the bump.
I think that was a case for a bump.
It was, and he wouldn't have got back up. He went down to the Albertson Oval today, and Nigel Fegert was running at you. I know what Nigel would have done. Nevertheless, the Double Blues go forward through Twit. He brings the ball over the boundary line, just metres out from the Double Blue goals, and they have scored through the majors 4 occasions today. They're 4-4-28. The Eagles are 6-2-38.
We've seen 7 goals scored in this second term, and it's the type of football you'd expect given these conditions here at the Oval today. As the ball is thrown in, and or bounced, I should say, about 30 metres out from the Sturt goal, but we'll have another bounce as players jump on top of the football. And it's 6-2-38, the Eagles, leading the Double Blues 4-4-28 on 5DN football. A number of players around the bounce of this ball. It will be big Brett Fruin to do the ruck work. Brent, I should say, and he's played a pretty good game today, taken a couple of courageous marks, and he wins that tap as well, gets it down to Scratcher Colville. He's been a little bit quiet, had a better second term, couldn't get the kick away. Once again, stacks on the mill, and we'll have a bounce, this time about 35 metres out directly in front.
Yeah, he could have got a free there, Colville. He was held on to before the ball got to him, and then I thought he got a shove as well. So,
and nicknamed Scratcher, obviously after the great Scratcher Neal, that played for Geelong.
The Cats.
Yeah, the Cats quite a few years ago now. Doesn't time get away from us, and let's take 3, boys. We'll have another bounce. Barry, see if you can sort something out of this.
Well, I can sort this one out quite easy. Just pay a free here, which I think the umpire will probably do. And I reckon there's going to be about 20 players, easily 20 players, 25 players in around this football, and it's about 25, 30 metres out from the Blues goal.
Coming through is Robinson. Tries to steal a quick one. He gets the ball, unloads to a teammate. He can't keep it, though. Kennedy's kick is a poor one. It'll tumble just metres inside the boundary line and eventually work itself over the boundary line. So probably on the intersection of the 50 and boundary lines, there'll be a boundary throw-in. 23.5 minutes gone of the second quarter. It's the Eagles by 10 points. Burton contests the ruck. Lennon over the top with a good tap. Robertson on the end of it. Good work again there by the Eagles. Pesh ends up with the ball. He'll take Patura on and outrun him. He hasn't got a lot of options, so he kicks towards the boundary line. Earns his side 40 metres as Bigland sees the ball over the boundary line. A boundary throw-in.
A big boy, Poppy Biglands. Very solid.
Probably looks as though he lacks just a little bit of condition as we see Patura behind plate, just with a little knock to the knee. They can ill afford to lose another one.
Yeah, they're 2 down already. The throw-in. It's Wiggins against Feast. Feast lost his footing. Wiggins won the tap. Feast is back on his feet, though. And in there, a number of players. And big Wiggins there, hasn't he? Had a fantastic season from a player that struggled to get in the side last year. And now he is one of the linchpins of the side, without a doubt. And in fact, would, along with Simon Feast, the 2 form ruckmen of the competition, I would say, without a doubt. So So the umpire will bounce again, and there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 players there at the bounce of the ball as Feast tries to juggle the football. Palfreyman's a very honest footballer, tried to crash his way through. He was tackled, so we'll have a bounce again. So it's tight and tough, as you'd expect, against two sides that have, well, especially one side that has a lot to play for, and that's the Eagles. Because the Doggies are under the pump on their home ground against West Adelaide. I see they've kicked 4, but they still trail by about 5.
Coming back, Kim, kicked another one out there.
And South also having a game on their hands down at the Bay against Glenelg. So the Eagles win today, they move into the top 5.
Yeah, and they were just completely out of the picture about a month ago, weren't they?
They were. When they lost to Glenelg, in actual fact, it was almost panic stations as Big Wiggins encourages his Chargers to find something. 25 minutes gone of this second quarter. It's Wiggins doing battle with Feast. Wiggins ends up with the ball and he kicks, well, he tries to kick the ball, but he missed by about 3 or 4 yards. Atkinson gets around 1, 2, can't get around the third. McClure was that third one. He keeps the ball in. Good contest, Atkinson and McClure. And the umpire will call it even, Stevens, to bounce down to take place.
Yeah, very good contest between two players there. Atkinson trying to weave his way out of trouble, ran into 3 Eagles players, and they just kept the pressure on him. He normally would break those tackles, but that was good football from Colville.
Yeah, it certainly was, and McClure as well. They did it well. They sweated off on Atkinson as the ball is tapped over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw-in in front of our commentary position. At the 26-minute mark of the second term, you're listening to 5DN Football. If you'd like a chat between 5 and 6, please give us a call on 8305 1323. You can have a chat to an old Eagle in Rob Popplestone, an old double blue boy as well he was. As the ball goes towards the back of the pack, Zilla couldn't take it. Going through there was Lennon, tried to get a handball out. It's taken, though, by Pesh. Pesh gets it over to Colville. They're inside 50 now looking for Pyman, but the mark's been taken by Andrew Geddes, a man that was recruited to the Adelaide Crows but never played a game for the club, but he loves it at the Double Blues. He chips out a pass and finds Timmy Weatherall. He's been a good player this year, playing his 65th league game. Also kicked 43 goals, so not a prolific goal kicker for a rover. The ball comes to ground. In there is Harvey. Couldn't control it. We're on the grandstand wing where the umpire will bounce again, and they've earned their money today, Barry.
Yeah, they have, and he's a terrific reader of the football, is Brodie Atkinson there. There was a marking contest there, and that ball off the hands hit him straight on the chest. Had he held onto it, he was away.
Wiggins and Feast have had an even day. Robertson over the top, a big thump. First there's Harvey for the Eagles. He can't bring the ball in. Coming in hard was Twit for the Double Blues. Again, another bounce down. Well, that would be by far the leading statistic on today's game, because they've probably had around about 35 to 40 bounce downs, and we haven't played half a game of football yet.
And Sturt have made a change as well. White's gone up to full forward in place of Burton. Burton's come out for centre half forward. He's actually on the ball as we speak, Burton.
Bounce down. Burton, as you said, punches the ball forward. Nice work. Patura backs himself. A left foot kick towards goals. Who's on the end of that one? It's a double blues player, and it's Big Stephen White who takes a strong mark just metres out from the Double Blues goal. He has the chance to edge them to within 4 points. At the moment, they're 4-4-28. The Eagles are 6-2-38. White should walk this one in, you'd suspect, and he does just that. So now on the mile end, Office Furniture scoreboard, it's the Double Blues 5-4-34. The Eagles 6-2-38.
And in the other local games at the MCG, Geelong at 12-8-80 to Essendon, 11-4-70. The Cats have taken the lead there at Waverley Park. Hawthorn at 10-6-66. Fremantle at 7-6-48. In the other local games at Albertson Oval, Port Adelaide 8-6, Nord 4-2. Elizabeth Oval, Centrals are 6-6, West Adelaide 9-4. Glenelg have taken the lead at Glenelg Oval 10-3 to South Adelaide 8-2. And the score you just heard from Adelaide Oval a short time ago, Eagles 6-2 to Sturt's 5-4. Back to Adelaide Oval now.
And we're at the 28-minute mark, and it's the Eagles by 4 points here at the Adelaide Oval as they go forward, and the mark's been taken by Biglands. So he's 49 metres out. Will have to kick from about 54 metres out. And he's a big boy. And
judging by his first kick, though, Kim, out in front of us here on the wing, I would say he wouldn't get the distance. He'll have to be a better kick, yeah.
OK, he looks pretty confident this time. Nice approach. Held the ball a little high. Not a bad-looking leg. And, in fact, I think he's kicked it, Barry, for a point.
Yep.
So you were right. But he got the distance.
Yeah, he did get the distance.
Actually surprised me too, Barry. His first kick was pretty ordinary. His style probably didn't do him much help.
Right.
But on that occasion, made the distance pretty comfortably. Threadgold brings the ball back into play now for the Double Blues. They trail by 5 points in a great game of football here between first and sixth. The target was Patura. Rogers came over the top. Twit picks up the crumbs, gives it back to Patura now. They've got a loose man. Can they find the target? They can't. And Toby Kennett with a good tackle, holds the ball in the centre square of Adelaide Oval as the siren goes to mark half-time here. And just quickly wrapping up that score again, the Eagles 6-3-39, Sturt 5-4-34.
You're listening to 5DN Football. We'll take a break, then we'll be back with our half-time summary, courtesy of the Glenelg Barbecue Inn. They really are beautiful steaks, and the old, what are those, chavapchavis? They're beautiful down there. Go down.
Lane went straight down into the room, so with a pretty bad shoulder. We're about to start.
Robbie Popplestone is about to call all the action on 5DN Football.
I am indeed. Feast up against Wiggins again. It was a good first quarter by the Eagles, a good second quarter by the Double Blues, and the Eagles have won the first centre break. It was Colville who gets the ball down towards Pelfreyman. Good work there by French, who busts the half-back line and has Feast on the lead. And with a little bit of room to move, he uses his right leg to find a lead by White, which was very, very good. And Feast, for a big man, showed exceptional skills. White plays on quickly now. Outside 50, kicks to the top of the square. Burton works his way to the front of the pack. Couldn't get the ball. Twitt, good quick hands to Kennett. Kennett's quick kick falls in the arms of Pays, who is standing all alone in the goal square. He goes looking for Zilla, who holds Maloney, unfairly deems the umpire, and a free kick to Seamus Maloney? Seamus Maloney. And he's on a pretty tight angle on the grandstand side of Adelaide Oval. Jason Ziller on the mark. And Maloney will kick. He's usually a pretty good leg. He probably does the right thing. Centres the ball. Kennett got a running jump at it. Overrunning the ball was Kennedy. Lennon taken high first and then low second, I thought. Continuary kicks for goal. It goes across the face of goal and out of play. Just 1 minute gone of this third quarter, and it's the Eagles 6-3-39. Sturt 5-4-34.
5DN Football with Rob Popplestone, Barry Curtin and Kim Dillon, and there is a throw-in in the left forward pocket, the northern end of the Adelaide Oval. The sun is shining. It's a great game of football, and you're listening to it live on 5DN as the players jump on top of the football. We mentioned earlier, Bazza, that the umpires have earned their money today. Gee, we've seen a lot of bounces, haven't we?
You would have thought that they'd have a pretty easy day today, a fairly hard running day, but a fairly easy day as far as ball-ups and throw-ins go, given there's no breeze here. Beautiful day, but there would have been 20, 25 ball-ups already.
Yes, apart from about 15 minutes in that second term, this game has been void of any fluency, but this time the Eagles go forward with a little bit of fluency, and that was courtesy of Jason Ziller. The kick went to nobody, though. Geddes is there, chanced his arm, had to bail out with a quick handball, but Fleur applies a tackle to a Sturt player who perhaps should have won a free kick. The ball now comes out loose, courtesy of Pyman to Holland. Holland, look at him go. 2 bounces, he's still going. Mate, that's... No, he didn't go for the third, and I tell you what, the chaser there in Kennett showed a bit of toe, but the ball now out with Kluzak. Matthew Kluzak centres it nicely, or is it up high there? A number of players leap for the ball, but the Sturt defence stands strong, and the ball goes out towards Patura. Sweeping handball out in turn to Weatherall. Drops it onto the left boot, out in the run of Atkinson. Atkinson should be first player there, but Rogers uses the body well and takes the ball over the line in front of the Sturt bench.
That's an extremely dangerous kick from Kluzak, and it would have cost them had Sturt been able to get away, kicking across the face that centre-half forward to a contest. It was probably not his best move.
It wasn't. The leg was searching for Atkinson. Rogers showed a lot of pace, though, for a big man. He now contests the ruck against Burton. Both players unable to get the ball out. Continuary goes in there to help Burton. Atkinson stands guard, and Pesh comes in just to take a few Double Blues players off his captain, and a bounce down half-forward flank grandstand side.
Hasn't this game developed into a little bit like your rugby union, where the pack forms and the player will just drop the ball and the players will come over the top?
They will bounce down. Continuary gets the first kick, top of the square again. Good work, and taken high was Harvey for the Eagles, but he's got an opportunity to relieve the pressure, and does. Luckily, though, because the kick didn't find its target as well as it maybe should have. Kennedy took the mark. Still inside the defensive 50. He goes towards that outer side. His target was Biglands, taken under the ball by French, and now Continuary with plenty of time. He goes with a short left leg to Twitt, and Twitt inside the centre square, kicks long now. His target is Lennon over the top. Kennedy brings the ball to ground. Patura in there, Pesh in there, and now it's Harvey. Good work by him. He finds Pesh with a neat handball. He kicks long. Wiggins will get a favourable bounce. Powell goes in to lend a hand for the Double Blues. Will he run it over the boundary line or keep it in? Well, he tried to keep it in, but couldn't. And a boundary throw in. Victor Richardson, gate side of this Adelaide Oval, half-forward line. The Eagles into attack and leading by 5 points.
5DN football, 4 minutes into the third term here at the Adelaide Oval, and the Eagles need to win this one if they are to make the 5. Sturt have a stranglehold on top position as the ball is worked clear. A number of players trying to paddle the ball forward, including Poultryman, but eventually it's McClure. He comes out of the pack and spears a pass and finds Kluzak, who takes it in front of the eyes. So Matthew Kluzak will have a shot now from about 35 metres out, and he needs to convert.
Yeah, that was a beautiful piece of foot. You really love to see that, a player charging out of the middle and hitting the full forward on the chest.
Kluzak lines up from about 35 metres out. The umpire has a good look, arches the old back and says all clear, 1 goal to the Eagles. So they move along to 7-3-45, leading the Double Blues 5-4-34 on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard.
Now, the world's largest land mammal meets the world's largest cinema screen. And browse the back end of the bush. And the National Film and Sound Archive. Keep listening for your chance to win a 5DN IMAX warranty.
The Eagles with a 11 points, 5.5 minutes into this third quarter. They win the centre break again, but Powell goes towards that outer side where a strong mark's been taken by Rogers. Rogers now with a searching kick for Burton. Burton got the first touch, couldn't get the second. Colville in there lending a hand. Good work by Pelfreman, keeps the ball in. Left leg, centres the ball up. Pesh against Continuary, good play, Continuary, but then Pesh, equally good play, probably better because he's opened up the door for the Eagles. It's Big Wiggins, finds Big Pays from inside 50 for goal! Robert Hyman!
Great mark.
He got there.
Well, he glided like a swan across red goal, took the ball, almost slips like catch.
Great catch.
And from a fairly acute angle, but only a few inches out from the goal line, Robbie Pyman will kick his second goal for the day, you'd expect, and open up that margin again to somewhere around about 17 points. So
terrific mark.
It was a great mark. Robbie Pyman, you'd think, will open up his angle. He has a reverse go at the goals. He's pretty happy with it. The goal umpire is pretty happy with it. And the Eagles supporters are ecstatic about it. On the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard, it's the Eagles 8 goals, 3. That's 51. The Double Blues 5-4-34.
The Hinch Breakfast.
Dave Hooks, good morning.
Morning, Darren.
Must have been a big night.
The point was that some 16 months ago
The Hinch Breakfast, 6 till 8:30.
Kluzak as he takes a mark, but it's been disallowed and in illegal infringement. So Seamus Maloney now has the football across the half-back line, grandstand side. He puts it up towards the grandstand wing, over the head of Jared Twitt. Now the loose ball swooped upon by Atkinson. Centres it nicely inside 50, looking for Twitt. In fact, the player before was the new player onto the ground who came in from the reserves, Andrew Whiteman. And there'll be a bounce down inside 50, about 40 metres out from the Sturt goal.
And Fruin's come out of that clash not too good. He's got a leg problem, just limped out of the pack. It looks okay now, but gee, it looks like he needed to be shot when he came out of the pack.
Well, conditions like today, I would like to see Tobias out there on the ground. He's a very free-moving player, very quick and creative, but he's yet to come onto the ground as Pay shrugs the tackle, gets the handball over towards Zilla. In trouble is Lille, dispossessed, tackle. Gee, they're working feverishly, the Double Blues at the moment. Continuary is there. On the bottom of the pack also is Darren Holland, the speedster. The umpire will bounce once again at the 8-minute mark. It's 51 points, plays 34. So a 17-point advantage to the Eagles, playing for a spot in the 5. And South Adelaide currently under the pump at the Glenelg Oval, and Central in a spot of bother at home at Elizabeth. So the Eagles need to win this one, and I would say they'd be acutely aware of the situation at the other games as the ball is punched forward, and that was by Whiteman close to the boundary line. Twitt is there, but the ball is out of play, so we'll have a throw in the left forward pocket, northern end of this beautiful ground here, the Adelaide Oval.
Ever so slightly, this game's starting to open up just a little bit, isn't it, PC?
Yes, it certainly is. I was just about to say that with the runners here are going to be all important when it comes down to the bottom.
Patura snaps with the right boot. Players sitting underneath it. Good fist away. Goes out towards Kennedy. Goes back through heavy traffic looking for Harvey. He paddles the ball forward. Over the top of it is McClure. It goes now back out toward Hodgson. He was tackled. Twitt's hands were very quick, but just a little bit off the target. Continuing in there working hard. Gets the handball out. It's pretty willing out there now as the ball goes from Wetherell over towards Irvin. Irvin to Atkinson about 40 metres out onto the left boot. He snapped. I tell you what, that's a great little goal by the Magician. Now that's the Double Blues 6th goal. They move along to 6-4, 40 points. Trailing the Eagles 8-3-51 on the Myland Office Furniture scoreboard.
And it's only seconds away from the final siren, and it looks like it's all but over.
Sports fans, and that's it.
11 points here at Adelaide Oval, and again they win the centre break. In the second quarter they had a 10-minute period where they could do no wrong. Couldn't they do the same again? They go for it inside 50 now. Holland holds the ball in play, a bounce down 40 metres out from the Double Blues goals. Sturt 6-4, 40. Eagles 8-3, 51. 10.5 minutes gone of this second quarter. French to do the ruck work against Fruin. Pays will be the recipient of a good tap from Fruin. He can't get clear. Twitt attempts to kick. Atkinson attempts to handball. Holland comes in, turns his butt to the crowd and gets tackled to boot. Another bounce down to take place. 40 metres out from the Double Blue goals.
Yeah. It's not opening up like, Rob. It's not opening up like we thought it would, but the tackling of both sides should be highly commended for their tackling because nobody can get through.
Have a look at Feast darting down into the forward line. He's being pursued by Wiggins, but the ball back about 35 metres out from the Sturt goal will be bounced again as players jump on top again. So perfect conditions, but they are struggling to work the ball clear.
Well, you called Feast running down from half back to full forward, and I think what he's trying to do is give himself a little bit of room because usually he plays a kick behind the play without any pressure. Today, Wiggins is marking. Bounce down, continuing. Quick handball looking for Twitt. Coming in was and taken too high for the Eagles.
Zilla?
Could be Zilla. Looks like Zilla, but I don't think
Zilla.
it is.
No.
But anyway, it's an Eagle free kick, full back line. Underneath the Myland Office Furniture scoreboard here, it's Hodgson who gets the free kick. Goes looking for his ruckman in Wiggins. Punched by feet. Continuing. Well, he got out of trouble. Left foot, had time to settle. Hard angle. And unfortunately missed for Double Blues fans. But the Double Blues go to 6-5, 41. The Eagles 8-3, 51.
That was electric. By continuing there, that was fantastic football. He was under enormous pressure when he got the footy, but no one laid a glove on him.
He's pretty quick as the ball is brought back into play. The target is McClure. Couldn't take the mark. Ball comes to ground. Good work there by Lil to get the ball over towards Higgins. He kicks around his body. That man that Rob Popplestone spoke about playing a kick behind the play is there in Feast, but he couldn't get near the football. Andrew Pays had it, but the ball went out of bounds. So we'll have a throw in the interchange gates. And look at Phil Carman. He's out of the coach's box there shouting at one of his players. And, gee, the veins were popping out the side of the neck there, a la David Parkin. As the ball goes in, Barnaby French couldn't control it. Jason Zilla's there, very quick hands to Pesh. Likewise to get it over towards Higgins. The ball is close to the boundary line.
Mark de Burton at centre half forward for the Eagles, just right on the boundary line. He's got a kick now, he's got a player in the pocket. Ignores him, goes to Kluzak at full forward, out-bustled beautifully. That's a good mark back there, taken by the Sturt defender.
The captain in Threadgold. He doesn't get a lot of the football, but by gee, he's mean. His opponents don't get many kicks either. Now bounces off the chest of Patura out there by the Victor Richardson gates, and he throws the ball into the ground in disgust, and he should be disgusted with himself, dropping a chest mark. We'll have a throw in.
And I'll tell you someone else who just threw something on the ground too. That's Phil Carman. As soon as it bounced off his chest.
A very popular man, a most affable man, but you would not want to upset him.
No, and as the T-shirts that Sturt have put out this week say, he's not the Messiah, he's just a naughty boy.
Yeah.
The ball bounced down on the half-forward line. The Eagles again trying to increase this margin of 10 points that they have over the league leaders.
And his lovely wife, Wendy, thinks he's naughty, but nice.
Exactly.
I must admit, it's great to see the Blues back. I was driving in here today, saw a bumper sticker there. They're on the back of the cars. The Blues are back. Yeah, good to see him back.
Yeah, and the supporters are back too, which is great to see. Continuing from the half-back line, doing some good work in the tight clinches. Kicks towards French. He can't grab the ball. In there hard is Twitt. Weatherald around the pack and Zilla also. Harvey for the Eagles, but another bounce down.
Got a nice mixture of Christian names, haven't they, Poppy? You've got Julian, you've got Barnaby, you've got Seamus, Mervyn. The last Mervyn for Sturt was Mervyn Kane.
Didn't last a long time.
Not for long.
He did a good job while he was there, and a rather controversial sacking or non-reappointment, wasn't it?
It was. Bounce down. Big punch by the Eagles. Good work. Atkinson. Now he runs inside 50, a long kick. One-on-one contest. White has the set and only needs one hand to take that mark. He read it beautifully. Fruin looked lost there as the ball floated down to the top of the square. Hands on head, Fruin. Good mark to Big White. He's already kicked the one, has Stephen White, in that second quarter. He now will bring the Double Blues to within 4 points. Walks this one in, 3 or 4 steps, bang. Over the top, the Double Blues still in this game, well and truly. 7-5, 47 on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard. The Eagles 8-3, 51.
Bye! That was Glenelg Plumbing, my plumbers. I know them and they know me. That's what it's all about with Glenelg Plumbing. Service. It's another one this year's Small Business Award. They guarantee emergency service within the hour. Same-day hot water replacement at prices they say are unbeatable. And Glenelg Plumbing fix it right first time. So the next time you're plumbing yours, call my plumbers. Your plumbers, Glenelg Plumbing, and 295
It's the Eagles who are the best, but only by 4 points here at the Adelaide Oval. But the Double Blues go into attack again, courtesy of Weatherall. He puts it out towards the outer half-forward flank, and the ball's bouncing away from everyone towards the boundary line. And we'll have a throw-in, Bez.
Yeah, it's terrific work by a Sturt player on the outer side to set up that goal, giving the ball to Atkinson, used the body really well, and his hands were fantastic. And I can't pick the player up. And I reckon it's number 45. Now, we got a number 45.
Yeah, it's Whiteman. Whiteman.
Oh, it is the new bloke, is it? Because I did not see him in my little book here.
No, Andrew Whiteman brought up into the side today from the reserves. And it's the Double Blues finding or working hard. Can't break the half-back line. The Eagles now with a little bit of space through Colville. Outer side wing, kicks to centre half forward. Feast the loose man there. Can't take the ball, but puts it out in the direction of one of his players. Taken high too. The crowd not happy. Pelfreyman finds Zilla with a handball. Zilla goes looking for Pyman. The kick wasn't good. Pyman contests hard. Pays in there also with Kluzak working very, very hard. They keep the ball in. Just momentarily, though, because it runs itself over the boundary line and out of play just outside the 50. The Eagles into attack and leading by 4 points.
What a terrific game we've got here. This is going right down to the wire here. You wouldn't say any side's clearly on top at the moment. Boundary throw in. Over the top, Biglands is a good tap, but to no one in particular. Thread goal, the Sturt skipper's got it. Kluzak's in there. The ball's going to beat all players. Out of bounds, right forward pocket with the Eagles into attack. 16, nearly 17 minutes gone the third term, and we have got a 4-point ball game. Top of the ladder, the Blues, up against 6th place, the Eagles.
Robert Pyman, not happy with the umpire's decision there. Thought it was intentional, but concentrating the game, Robbie. The ball thrown back into play. Weatherall, good tackle there by the Eagles.
Biglands.
It was Rhett Biglands that took the man down illegally. So now Weatherall through the free kick. Goes towards that outer side. It's a 2-on-1 contest, though, and Twitt just about one out. Burton, though, eventually gets the ball, goes to centre-half forward with a short kick to McClure, who hasn't run it towards that outer side, and it's the Eagles through Brett Leal, who will now send the Eagles forward, looking for Kluzak, not finding him, though, and it was a poor kick.
Poppy, terrible football. Like, they had the ball just outside 50, then they went back out to the half-forward flank, and then they went back towards the forward pocket, and you're not going to kick goals from the forward pocket, so I don't think Mark Micken would be too pleased with that passage of play, and they've also lost the ball, so we'll have a throw in that left-forward pocket. 18 minutes in to this third term, and it's the Eagles by 4 points on your 5-to-end match of the day here at the Adelaide Oval. Biglands had front position, couldn't take the football, a number of players jump on top. So we'll have a quick bounce and we'll have some very quick scores. They were that quick, you missed them. So we will have a bounce in that left forward pocket. About 25 metres out. We will check some scores in a moment from the other games because they are crucial to a number of clubs at the moment, including Port Adelaide and the Eagles and, of course, Central. So the ball has been put to ground. Seamus Maloney gets the kick away. It is close to the boundary line. In fact, the boundary umpire was caught a long way away. It's out of play. We'll check some scores.
Okay, Port Adelaide doing very well.
So So some incredible games and results around the nation at the moment. Pyman tried to get a kick away. Now picking it up is Polfreeman, one of the better players for the Eagles today. He puts the ball up high. Kluzak is there, couldn't take it. Back there is Atkinson, tries to get the kick away. A number of players in there working hard. The ball is put up high again. Getting underneath it is Burton, couldn't take it. The ball comes to the ground. Sturt will get out of trouble with a nice clearing kick looking for Coutinho. He takes it on the chest. I think he wants to play on. He does. He gets it over towards Patura. Uses a sweeping handball out wide to Feast. Feast in turn brings it towards the 50 and front position was White. Couldn't take it though. Dropped what he should have taken. The ball comes to ground. A number of players working hard. Now it's fed out towards Burton. He has a fumble. He's tackled by Hodgson. The crowd want holding the ball. The umpire says play on. So Fruin does just that and gets the ball out towards Harvey, who in turn puts it out towards Colville. Colville gets it out towards Pesh. So Pesh takes it nicely with one hand. Then plays on with the left boot looking for Burton. But Sturt standing tall in defence there. But going through well was Pyman as he gets a kick away. There's no one out towards the forward line. Brett Biglands tries to kick one off the ground. It didn't look that flash, but it's pretty effective. He banged it through. The Eagles move along to 9-3, 57. Leading the Double Blues 7-5, 47.
Nasty Nigel again. I'm here not to recommend total security.
Security doors, shutters and screens made stronger than most and not recommended by me. Phone 8268-8577
Thank you in Adelaide Oval. It's the Eagles by 10 points. Bounce down. First there is the Double Blues. Good work, Atkinson. Well, he juggled it but gained possession. His handball searching for a teammate didn't come off and Higgins opens the door for McClure, who goes in the direction of Pyman. He held his opponent without the ball. Free kick. Half back line. Outer side of the ground. The Double Blues being tested for one of the few occasions this year. Only lost, I think, 4 games from memory.
Yep.
So they've had a pretty good season. Half forward line, Rogers. He's been very good today. Just does the job. Not always spectacular, but always effective. Out of play. We've gone 21 and a half minutes of this third quarter. 12 scoring opportunities for the Double Blues. That resulted in 7 goals, 5-47, and 12 for the Eagles. But they've been more accurate. 9 goals, 3, 57. Again, another bounce down to take place. Still on the half-forward line, outer side of the ground. Feast doing some heavy work, just working his opponent. Just trying to gain a few yards, make sure that he's thinking in Reddy Biglands. He'll probably start to work himself towards the fall of the ball in a moment. Or at the moment, he's probably just creating that forward line more than it should be. Nevertheless, the ball's been bounced down. A quick kick forward by Rogers is smothered off the boot. First there for the Eagles is Tobias, who has come onto the field now. And Kimmy Dillon's pretty happy about that. Twit is pretty happy. He picked up a quick possession, goes forward. Well, Bigland's probably dropped a floater, and he's put his teammate Fruin under pressure. Fruin in turn puts Kennedy under pressure. He's equal to the task, goes searching for Pelfreeman. It's back where the ball came 3 or 4 possessions ago. Powell wins out. Good work by the Double Blues. Barnaby French, handballs inboard. Now the Eagles can find something here. They go forward with the city's White. In front is Fruin. Coming through hard is Feast. He picks up the ball but can't deliver. And a bounce down 20 metres out from the Double Blues goal.
And Feast probably robbed one of his own players there who would have run into an open goal, but desperation, he went for the football.
23 minutes into the third term, and it's the Eagles by 10 points here at the Adelaide Oval on 5DN's match of the day. A crucial clash for the Eagles. Sturt comfortably in top position, but still playing a pretty tough game at the moment. As the Eagles come out of defence, courtesy of Nick Pesh, and he's a beautiful kick most times, and he puts it out in front of Burton, but he couldn't take it. And now the Double Blues go forward, and Soderstrom's onto the ground, and he gets his first kick. Number 12 for the Double Blues, puts it out towards Burton, but he missed his target, and the ball is out of play in the left forward pocket.
He had 2 players, he had White on his own, basically, in the square there, yet he chose to go to the forward pocket to Burton, the full forward, and kicked it over his head.
And it just shows you how important, not only for Soderstrom with the ball, but also for Burton. He led into his side, and it's just natural to go for the lead, but nevertheless, he led to the wrong spot.
Throw in left forward pocket. Coutinho is there. He's working very hard. Doesn't get a lot of the football, but he's very dangerous. The ball is very close to the boundary line again, and in fact taken over the line. So the ball will be handed back from Brett Leal to the boundary umpire, and he'll throw in that left forward pocket, the northern end of the Adelaide Oval, which is bathed in sunshine today. Now let's see what the Double Blues can do. Getting the tap down was Fruin. He's done well at the boundary throw-ins, but once again, a number of players just jump on top of the football, which gives us a quick opportunity, Rob, to tell people they can have a chat to us between 5 and 6 on 8305 1323.
They can indeed. Corey Lambert getting ready to come onto the field for the Eagles, and he's a hard worker and probably just what they need in the clinches too, because he's pretty tough. The ball bounced down, coming through hard was McClure. Good work by the Eagles. They run it towards the boundary line. Powell's first there, taken over the line and taken quite strongly too by the Eagles, and the player who tackled there was Hodgson, who's been pretty good today. And just on the intersection of the 50 and boundary lines, the Double Blues searching for another goal. They're 10 points down at the moment. Powell does some good work. Quick kick from a standing start. It hasn't got over the boundary line yet, but it has now. And it'll be a boundary throw-in. Just 5 metres out from the Double Blues goals. They trail by 10 points, BC.
And they've set it up for a terrific last term here. This is great. We've played nearly 25 minutes of the third quarter. And it is in the Blues forward zone. Burton out to no, but the Eagles are going to come away here.
Tobias.
Through Tobias.
Oh, he's under the pump too, Barry. Had to bail out with that handball, and it's now taken by Patura. Zilla's in there to lend support. It's getting pretty tough. He gets a quick handball out towards Rogers. Goes over the top to Pesh, but how quick's Continuary? Tackle was very good there. Players going in quite frenetically. I think the umpire will have to intervene here and bounce once again.
Well, you can see the Eagles really need this victory, don't you? The way that some of the players there committed themselves, Zilla there and also Tobias, both head first into packs. And that's what they need to win this game of footy.
Well, the old Double Blues won't go away. It's looked on a number of occasions as if the Eagles could run away with this game, but there's only 10 points in it at the 26-minute mark of this third term. Rogers had to do the ruck work. It's Lennon going forward for the Double Blues. They're inside 50. Burton couldn't take it. Brett Leal went through rather acrobatically. But the ball is on the ground again, and once more we'll see the umpires bouncing. 26 minutes in, and just the 10 points in it, Poppy.
Well, there is, and the midfield of the Eagles is performing pretty well too. Burton's kicked a lot of goals in recent weeks simply because their midfielders won, and on the lead he's pretty hard to beat. Today hasn't found a lot of space simply because delivery hasn't been as good as what it might be. Bounce down. French doing some hard work. McClure fighting hard, as is Continuary. Again, another bounce down. Was just 40 metres out from the Double Blues goals. They trail by 10 points, and as you heard, we're into time on in this third quarter. 26.5 minutes gone behind play. Feast making sure again he's working Biglands. Higgins lending a hand, but really he should be on his own man, who is Soderstrom. Bounce down, Twit in there, working hard. Well, I thought that was a dangerous tackle inside 50. That appeared to be a little bit high, but probably would have been
I think that made the right decision. Yeah, it would have been a courageous one. Just on the Feast business, he's running up and down the ground. If anything, I reckon he's given himself a bit of too much of a workout.
I was thinking the exact same thing, and yeah, I think that'll be working against him eventually because he's not really putting himself in the play. As the ball goes back towards Lennon, in turn he uses the support of Powell, manages to get it onto the left boot, and Kennedy takes a strong mark. He's a very reliable player, is Mark Kennedy. And number 40, yep, for the Eagles, back into the side.
Well, he spent some time at St Kilda. He's overcome some injuries, and he's, as you said, Kim, a pretty consistent player too, and exciting. Yep. Goes towards the outer side with a beautiful 60-metre punt. Burton over the top, but he's just not on his game today.
French has played him very well, Poppy. Used his body once again well there. Got in front of Burton, who really at times today has looked like just the big leap from behind.
Burton should have applied the spoil there. Yep. As we see Corey Lambert come onto the ground, as Rob Popplestone told us. And Andrew Pays, having his testimonial tonight, has been dragged. So not a big day for Andrew Pays. Has not found much of the football. The siren has sounded here at the Adelaide Oval. It is three-quarter time, and the Eagles are leading 9-3-57 to the Double Blues 7-5-47. So a 10-point advantage here at the Adelaide Oval in our 5DN match of the day. We'll take a break, then we'll be back with our three-quarter time summary.
I thought that maybe he was saving something up his sleeve.
Well, I don't know whether he can do that, given the state of the play that the Crows are in.
Well, boys, we'll talk about that after 5. If you'd like a chat, give us a call on 8305-1323. The final term is about to get underway, and there's only 10 points in it here at the Adelaide Oval. The Eagles are leading, and they need to win because Central are under the pump at the Elizabeth Oval. So they're going in pretty hard at the moment as bodies are being thrown to the ground as Brucey Lennon clears for the Double Blues and puts his side inside 50. Burton was underneath it, couldn't take it. Stephen White picks it up, arcs around onto the left boot, puts it up high, wide, and it was pretty ugly in the end.
It was, and I get the feeling that maybe White could be the player that wins this game for the Double Blues because Fruin, although he's taken some good, courageous marks, just looks like he lacks a bit of experience. And I look at his stats now, he's only played 10 games, so that pretty much sums it up. He looks a little bit lost.
And Poppy, I've learnt never to question your feelings because they're normally very accurate. You are the man that said the Crowies would get up by 10 goals at Cat Park, and they did.
Oh, thanks for that, Kimbo.
No,
The
that's
ball
all
now
right. I like giving you a rap when you deserve it.
The ball's out towards that outer side. Good work by Roger. Rogers, quick handball, busting through the pack, though, for the double blues was continuing. He fights hard. Rogers, the skipper for the Eagles, does a blindside handball, didn't find a market out of play.
And Barry, could I also tell you, he's the man that said the Crows would beat North Melbourne by 10 goals.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I do believe that, yeah, you've given him a rap there, and we'll have to go back a few replays before we get another victory like that, don't we, Pop?
Well, yeah, well, thanks for that. I've experienced the highs and lows in the space of 5 seconds here at Adelaide Oval, where the double blues are 7 goals, 547, Kimbo, and the Eagles 9-3-57, playing for a top 5 spot.
Yeah, just the 10 points. You selected the double blues. Barry, what was your tip again here? You went for the Eagles,
I went
didn't
for the
you?
Eagles, yes.
Yeah, so it's anybody's game. Katinuri is there. Trying to get a kick away was Nicholas Pesh. Couldn't do so effectively. The ball is loose, and going through with pace there is Patura onto the left boot. Puts it out in front of Julian Burton. Punching the ball forward was Frew, and that was very good football. It goes out to number 33, Michael DeBias. He puts it along the grandstand wing. Players set themselves. The ball is loose. Taken by Robert Pyman off 1 foot. Puts it inside 50, looking for Kluzak. Couldn't get there. Great courage taken there by Mark Soderstrom to complete a very good mark. He now puts it out to Simon Feast, who's given Rhett Biglan's the slip. He puts it onto the left boot. The ball comes to ground. Over the top of it, Corey Lambert. Grab when not in possession. Should have been a free kick. Now he's in there again working hard. Tried to get a handball out. Katinuri is there. Players jump on top. The umpire blows the whistle and says, let me bounce it, boys, in front of the Victor Richardson gates.
Probably 2 free kicks there. The free kick down here, I thought Pyman gave away to Geddes, pushing him out of the contest, and I thought that Lambert on the other side of the ground should have been given a free, so the umpires are letting it go here a little bit.
They are bounced down. Barnaby French in the ruck. Wasn't a great bounce. Atkinson is bottom of the pack. Good handball under pressure. Weatherald steals the ball. Run through half forward. Looking for the full forward in Burton, who was taken under the ball. Play-on's the call. Good work by the Eagles just momentarily. He run the ball over the boundary line. 40 metres out from the Eagle, in fact, the double blues goals. The Eagles lead, though, by 10 points as we check scores.
Final scores at the MCG. Geelong, as I mentioned earlier, defeated Essendon 19-13, 127 to 18-9, 117, a margin of just 10 points there. Different story at Waverley Park. Hawthorn 42-17, 149, absolutely walked all over Fremantle to win by 89 points there. Fremantle 9-6-60. Albertson Oval, 3/4 time, Port Adelaide 12-10, 82 Norwood, 6-4-40, Central 6-12, 48, trailing West Adelaide 15-10, 100. Alan Richardson has kicked 6 goals for West, and at the Bay, Glenelg 16-5, 101, leading South 11-6, 78. Back to Adelaide Oval now,
where the double blues have kicked a goal, and they move along to 8-5 now, and the Eagles are on 9-3, and it was Whiteman boys that kicked the goal.
Yep.
So the man that came off the bench, number 45 for the double blues, has kicked the goal, and now the margin only, what is it there?
4
Probably
points.
4 points here on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard.
Bounce down again. Good work by Biglands. Gets the tap, but Atkinson starting to come into the game. Finds his ruckman in. Feast, who kicks around the body. Not a good kick. Falls in the arms of Rogers, and they'll need Rogers to find something. Barnaby French held him too long, was the call by the umpire. That cost the Sturt side 25 metres, and that could be dangerous. Rogers now goes searching towards that out of the side of the ground. What or who he was looking for, I'm not sure. It certainly wasn't Maloney who took the mark. He plays on. A long kick too by him. Good work, good mark by White. He's playing well up the ground in front of Fruin. He's on the half-forward line now for the double blues. Plays on, that left footer. A few left footers in this double blues side, and they're all pretty good too. Kicks to centre half forward. Holland. He's probably out of the play recently. Still working hard though. Weatherald working hard also. McClure gets a quick handball to Zeller. His kick around the corner, the centre wing, finds Lambert in the front of the pack. Quick handball inboard, didn't find the mark. Pesh overruns it. Good work by Atkinson again. Continuing now. Goes towards that outer side and the double blues inside 50. A one-on-one duel. Burton, 1 grab, 2 grabs. Good mark. Play on, he's the call.
Bounce,
he does play on. White, Burton now around the body. Don't tell me he's put the blues in front. Well, he hasn't. Lennon's the player who tries to mark. Can't keep his feet. Got to keep your feet. And Tobias now eases the pressure. If he can get over the top of a double blues player, he has a runner. That runner is Pelfreeman, who tried to keep the ball in one hand. Well, I thought the ball was out. He keeps the ball in though through Harvey, and Harvey now puts the ball inside 50 over the top of Burton's head. Good play, Matty Kluzak. He's got an option short, and it's big Reddy Biglands.
Gee, that was good football. Kluzak, very aware. Also good work from Poultryman. And I don't know who the Eagles defender was that came out of defence there, but his kick had to be long and strong to reach Poultryman, and it was a very good kick in the end.
Free kick behind play in the goal square. So what could have been a 50-50 ball by Biglands will now be a goal, and the free kick will go to Matty Kluzak. He's kicked just the one goal in the third quarter.
And probably deserves to kick this because, as Barry mentioned, his play was sensational to set up the opportunity for Rhett Biglands, and now he'll get to finish off.
And Matty Kluzak, the top of the square. The Eagles by 4 points. It's now 10 points. The Eagles knocking on the door of the final five. The Eagles 10-3. That's 63. Sturt 8-5, 53.
Yeah.
Beautifully called.
And that was a little bit of undiscipline in defence there. That Kluzak had actually run back into the square to try to get position again. Probably just to wave his arms at Biglands, I would think, to say get the goal.
And another injury for the Double Blues. Robinson now off with a hamstring injury. Richter's off already with a calf injury. Behind play, Wiggins and Soderstrom are having words. And Lang, as we know, with a shoulder injury. They're stretched right to the limit, the Double Blues.
And a crowd of 5,300 officially here at the Adelaide Oval today to witness what's been a very desperate game of football. The ball is tapped down by Feast. Continuary is there. Sockers it off the ground. He'll back himself in, but he was tripped. Play on the call. Good shepherd there by Zilla. Allows Mark Kennedy to get the ball. He's under the pump. That's got to be holding the ball. Play on the call. In there is Pesh. Tried to get a handball away. Geddes with desperation. Likewise Tobias. Heavy traffic in there as McClure tries to apply a tackle, and it is getting willing at the 7-minute mark of the final term here at the Adelaide Oval. 5DN footy.
Well, both sides have got plenty to play for here, Kim. I mean, the Blues are minor premiers. They're trying to convince everybody that they are genuine premiership contenders. The Eagles are obviously fighting for a spot in the five, so both sides are going absolute hammer and tongs.
Remarkable fight back by the Eagles over the last month. They were completely out of the finals picture, but they're a big chance now as the ball goes forward. Paddled forward, out towards Toby Kennedy, who's back onto the ground. In there is Corey Lambert. He'll run straight at the football. He does. He gets the handball out to Tobias. Could have run with the football. Standing start, gets the kick away. Loose ball. Maloney is there, paddling the ball forward. He's been a good player today. Pesh runs straight in it. 55 metres out, kicks to an unprotected goal. Back there is thread goal, but the ball goes over the line for a point. So 11-point ball game at the 8-minute mark.
Beautifully done there by Nick Pesh. He's a very strong player. Small and low to the ground, and that usually helps him. He backs himself in most cases. On that occasion, offline. Threadgold brings the ball back into play. Finds a teammate. It's Andrew Geddes who goes towards that outer side. But it's Lambert again. He's been busy. Unloads to Pyman. Pyman sends one forward. Was he taken late? No, he wasn't, says the umpire. Play on's the call as Threadgold punches the ball towards the boundary line and out of play. Well, down here at Adelaide Oval, there's a lot of people who have worked themselves up a thirst. None more so than our own Kim Dillon, who's just put himself half a dozen cans of soft drink. But on the Adelaide Oval, more importantly, it's Continuary who's trying to ease the pressure for the Double Blues. Jason Zilla busts the pack. Don't tell me he's kicked the goal. He has. The Eagles, with a margin now of 17 points, if the umpire gives the all clear, and he does, leads this game. We're gone. 9 minutes of the last quarter. The Eagles move on to 11 goals for a total of 70. Sturt 8-5, 53.
Through the back porch.
Wakes one through with the right boot around his body, and do you think he's not pretty happy? He's kicked his second, and the Eagles looking pretty good here at the Adelaide Oval on 5DN football. Now that is a very handy lead, boys, at the 10-minute mark of this final term.
And they look a little bit leg weary to me, the Blues. A couple of kicks out of defence in the last couple of minutes, Kim, that went nowhere. The kicking to Eagles players, they just look tired kicks to me. And if you ever look at the respective benches, there's nobody on the Blues bench. The 3 Eagles players that are on the bench were just warming up over there. I bet the old Double Blues wouldn't mind borrowing a couple of them.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Robbie, the smaller running players you mentioned before coming into the game for the Eagles, like Zilla and Pesh.
It's in the middle, Kimbo, where they're winning the ball here.
The old engine room, Bazza.
Exactly right. Biglands again wins the tap. Pesh again on the end of it. Walk coming in hard was Kennett. Couldn't lay the tackle, though. Ball comes to ground. Zilla holds it in. So another bounce down to take place. 11 minutes into this last quarter. The Eagles, surprisingly enough, 23-point leaders. We've had a pretty even day for most of the day. And the Eagles aren't over the line yet. We've seen the Double Blues surge before, and I dare say they've got a couple left in them yet. Fighting hard there is Harvey. Again, another bounce down. The Eagles, though, answering all the challenges, Kim, at this stage.
Yeah, they look good across all lines. I suppose if you were to be critical, you'd say they've maybe struggled across half forward, where Brett Burton has been outpointed. And they've had Rhett Biglands down there, and they've got Big Wiggins there at the moment. But they're managing to move the ball effectively into the forward line like Sturt are about to do now. And that is courtesy of Weatherall. Runs a good 15, 20 metres. Play on the call. He's looking for Burton. Hodgson, front position, should have taken the mark. Dropped it. Rogers is there for support. The Sturt players looking for a free kick. Jared Twit's in there, but the umpire will bounce as we see the footy goals flying everywhere around football, well, the Adelaide Oval.
Well, a few years ago, an old cricket commentator said to me, when the Eagles go to the Adelaide Oval, you can expect a weather change. And he was dead right. It was 43 degrees when they landed, and an hour later, it was 42. What are you talking about?
Atkinson with the ball now. Handballs to Katinuri. He centres the ball up. Burton takes a strong mark. So the Double Blues aren't done with yet. 12 minutes into this last quarter. A goal by Burton brings them to within 3 goals. And Julian Burton, who's been held pretty well today, has only kicked the 1 goal in the second quarter.
1-1, Poppy.
And he will not miss this one. He's currently kicked 59 goals for the season. He's trailing, in fact, 60 goals for the season. Adam Richardson was the leader today. He's kicked 68, Adam Richardson.
And he might have a few up at Elizabeth too. The Westies have kicked 15. So
Julian Burton, 45-degree angle, 20 metres out, off the boot. Well, across the face of goals, is it still good enough? Wasn't perfect, but good enough to bring the Double Blues to within 17 points on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard. They move on now to 9 goals 3, I think that should be. It says 9 goals 5. Okay, that's a total of 59. The Eagles 12-4-76 as we check scores.
25-5 on 5 to Yen at Albertson Oval. The Magpies leading by 43 points.
Great football being played around the nation and locally. And you're hearing it all on 5DN football as the ball is back centre field. 76 plays 59, so back towards back to 17 points, the advantage to the Eagles. So as Rob Popplestone suggested, it's not over yet, as Rhett Biglands does very well to take possession and break his way through the centre of the field. He's brought the ball inside 50. Palfreyman put it up high. Nobody can take the mark. Maloney's back. They're going through to Byers. He's hit the post. Gee, it looked like it was going through.
I thought it was.
Or was I just prematurely excited?
Well, so he should have been excited.
Kim.
Because I think he thought it was going through as
well. He looked like it was. He's been a handy player since coming on. I'm only saying that because I made the suggestion.
Fred Gold kicks towards and finds a teammate in Soderstrom. Centre half back, the big fella Soderstrom, the ex-North Adelaide star, goes towards the outer side to Patura. Patura now with a 60-metre kick finds his target in White. And White from centre half forward.
Could kick it, Poppy.
He could, because it's a one-on-one contest, and that's what he's kicking to. Burton got hands to the ball, falls to ground. Who's going to be first there? Good work. Now the Double Blues through Twit. Can they kick another one? They can't just for the moment. Kennett fighting hard. Gets around 1. Twit from a standing start. Well, hello. The Double Blues are well in this game. They're now within 11, in fact 12 points on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard, courtesy of that goal by Twit. They are now 10 goals, 5, 65. The Eagles 12-5, 77.
Great game. Great game of football. The Blues are not down. They keep fighting back here. And really, whatever side is winning the ball out of the middle is ultimately scoring. And the Blues have taken the ball out on the last 2 occasions out of the centre through the players like Atkinson and Weatherall and Katinuri in that centre square where the Eagles dominated the first part of this quarter. It's now the Blues
And Mark Micken has his runner out. Alan Schwartz just revving up his charges, telling them to keep their minds on the job because there's a long way to go. We're only at the 15-minute mark. Pash got a wobbly kick away. It was taken by Lambert. He brings the ball inside 50, but Maloney, he was taken out of it. He got the handball out to Lennon, though. Now it's Brody Atkinson, so the double blues are going forward again. Great game of football on 5DN. They put the ball up high, inside 50. Feast claims the mark. He's taken it 48 metres out, plays on quickly with the left boot, puts it out towards Burton. Did it touch the ground? Play on the call. Tried to take a slips mark, couldn't do so. Now Brady Lille soccers off the ground and conceded a little bit of ground, boys, but the ball is safely out of play.
We've got Pyman off for the Eagles, which is a bit of a surprise, I suppose, and back on comes Higgins. But, well, I suppose Pyman's been a little bit quiet, Poppy.
Well, he hasn't. On that occasion was caught behind his opponent then, and probably Higgins is what we need for the fall of the ball of Cluzak. That could be what they're missing. Back here, though, Atkinson centres the ball up. On the end of it, White, Burton fighting hard. Rogers should run it over the line. Play on, he does. Well, he was tackled and went for the behinds.
Good experience.
And he got it too. Yeah, good experience under pressure. Sturt now 10-6, 66. The Eagles 12-5, 77.
And Poppy, did I hear a we then? A we? What we need? Did that slip out then?
Might have slipped out.
Oh, I think so. Well, there you go. You play for both clubs and the colours are coming through.
I am going to an Eagles function tonight. I'd rather it be a good one.
Yeah, that's a point. Yeah, not good to go to those testimonials after a belting. Corey Lambert on the outer side has the football. It's a measured kick looking for Burton. Couldn't pick it up on the half volley, being harassed out there by Maloney. And in fact, he's done a good job of harassing all day. Seamus Maloney, a good Irish name.
Seamus Maloney and Barnaby French. Both players have done a terrific job when posted at centre-half back on Burton, who's had a very, very quiet day.
Okay, throw in on the outer side in front of the Victor Richardson gates. The ball comes towards the back of the pack. Quick handle out towards Pesh. Little bit of balking and weaving. Throws the ball onto his boot. Higgins had front position, couldn't take the mark. Geddes has been good in defence as well. And in fact, he's probably stitched up Robbie Pyman today.
Very good call, Kimmy's been a terrific player across half-back. And you said it earlier as well that that's where the Eagles have struggled across half-forward.
So they've gone for a little bit of pace in Higgins, as Rob Popplestone suggested, as the ball comes down towards Weatherall. Kept his body over the football. Couldn't take the footy, though. And players jump on top, and the umpire blows the whistle and will bounce on the outer half-forward flank, about 60 metres out from the goals, the Eagles' goal. And that's at the northern end of the Adelaide Oval. 5DN football, 13:23 a.m. on your dial. We'll be with you through until 6 o'clock.
Ball bounced down 60 metres out from goals. The Eagles looking to secure a top 5 spot. Even it is for just the week. Well, Pelfreyman was pushed over the boundary line. The ball was out of play on the full, nevertheless, so the free kick will go to the Double Blues. It's Matty Powell on the intersection of the 50 and boundary line who kicks long, good long kick too. Now towards centre wing. Meeting the ball hard was Holland, and a bounce down to take place. It'll be interesting to see what players now stand up in what is to be a very, very tight finish.
That was terrific courage by young Leal there. He had to run at the footy and got absolutely poleaxed, but he kept the ball in the area.
He did. Bounce down again. French gets a tap. Who's going to be first there? It's Continuary. He leads Tobias to the ball. Pesh in there fighting hard also, but neither of Continuary or Pesh can keep the ball into play, and it will be another boundary throw-in.
And 10 minutes to go, Robbie, and only 2 kicks in it. A 11-point advantage to the Eagles, and they have led from the start. But the Double Blues will not go away as Continuary is certainly getting into the action. Beautifully picked up by Jared Twitt on the outer side. Got it over the top with a handball to Weatherall. He does likewise, but he misses his target, and it's been picked up by Jason Ziller. He in turn gave it back to Brett Lille, who in turn goes to Mark Kennedy, who puts it onto the left boot, looking for Burton. And that's the type of grab the Eagles need to take. And one grab in front of the eyes. Now plays on quickly, puts it inside 50, looking for Cluzak. Lost front position. Beautifully done by Threadgold. The skipper charges through. Doesn't get a lot of kicks, but he launches into this one. Puts it into his attacking zone, and a strong mark's been taken by Toby Kennett. He'll look for Feast. Puts it out in that direction. Feast has the sit, and that was a beautifully measured kick.
Great kick. Great kick.
So Simon Feast has the football after taking a mark and will kick about 45 metres. And I'm not sure.
He's missed one of these before.
Yeah, normally a pretty good kick. The left footer, bit of a wobbly drop of the football, but the umpire likes it. That's the goal umpire. His teammates like it. There's 5 points in this game at the Adelaide Oval. Our 5DN match of the day. The Eagles leading 12-5. Sturt fighting back on 10-6.
At Elizabeth Oval, West Adelaide just kicked another goal. Adam Richardson, in fact, kicked his 7th. So leading now by 8 goals. West Adelaide, a 16-13 to Central's 8-13. Back to Adelaide.
Adelaide Oval here. The margin isn't as big as that one down at the Elizabeth Oval, BC.
No, you would have thought that Burton, having taken that mark here at half forward, might have just slowed the things down a little bit. I mean, he kicked quickly to Kluzak, who had two big men on him. And I just thought he might have slowed the play down this fraction.
Probably would have been the right move. The Eagles now, where most thought here they were over the line, they're now in all sorts of trouble, but they still lead by 5 points. But the Double Blues go forward through Weatherall. This is where they're getting the ascendancy, and again it's White in front of Fruin, who takes the mark just on the arc of 50. And the Double Blues fans come alive because they can see yet another win coming up if White, who's a pretty prodigious kick of the footy, can put this one through the big ones. Kimbo?
They've got a great work ethic, haven't they? Like, they haven't had any stars today, the Double Blues, but they just keep chipping away, running, persisting, and I tell you what, if White puts this through, they'll be a point in front.
White, the kick off the boot, doesn't appear as though it's going to make the distance. At the full, the ball was Coutinho, but he couldn't get a foot to it, and it goes through for yet another behind. On the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard, it's the Eagles who are 12-5-77, and Sturt are 11-7-73.
Yeah, and they have led briefly for about 30 seconds in the second term, the Blues. They hit the lead. So it's been all the Eagles most of the day, but they're coming back, the Blues.
And we're 21 minutes into the final term, and Feast takes a good mark, and Wiggins, looking at the umpire, wasn't happy. Thought he got a push in the back, still remonstrating with the umpire as Feast plays on. An atrocious kick. Gave it straight to Brett Leal, who handballs over towards Rogers. The skipper puts the ball to the outer wing by the Victor Richardson gates, but it's 2 against 1. Burton having to do the work against Seamus Maloney, and the ball is now pushed out of play right in front of the Victor Richardson gates.
Tim, very undisciplined by Wiggins, because Feast could have just run off with 4 points of difference. You don't do that sort of thing. You've got to pressure the mark.
And the Eagles runner is out of the box, and he may be going towards the big fella who tries to win the tap and redeem himself, and he does so. Now the Eagles have the football. It goes back towards Tobias. His handball's not a good one, but it goes out in the direction of, I think that was Poultryman, but it's been stolen by the Double Blues. There's a bit of desperation out there now. Barnaby French dives in, and the umpire will bounce about 70 metres out, and you can hear the applause from the Sturt supporters. They really did appreciate that desperation on the outer side.
And they've been a little quiet today, the Blues supporters down in front of us, but they really have sparked in the last 5 minutes, as has their football team.
And French gets a quick tap, a big tap too towards that outer side. Lambert, hang on to the ball too long. Play on's the call. Out of trouble just for the moment are the Double Blues. They go towards half forward. Good contest all day between Holland and Coutinho, and on this occasion Holland punched towards the boundary line. Throw in half forward flank out the side of the ground.
Well, I know it's easy up here and everyone gets caught holding the ball at some stage or another, but really that's the difference between the top level players, having that sixth sense, and Lambert had plenty of time to get that on the boot and just froze.
Yeah, good point, Kim. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention here too is the Eagles bench. I think we've still got Pays down there on the bench, and we've also got Pyman. Now, those players, for mine, would be pretty handy players out there in a crunch time, and this is crunch time. 23 minutes gone, 4 points.
Yeah, well, you can't buy experience, and yeah, I agree. Pyman down in a forward pocket would be handy with a one-on-one competition. But
I wouldn't even mind putting Pays in a forward pocket. Not often there, but I think he's not. He hasn't lost too many yards. He still moves pretty well.
That's just a lot of experience on the bench.
Let's not forget, boys, we talk about the options for the Eagles, but what about the Double Blues? It's been a mighty effort today. They've only had 21 fit players. Yeah. No, in fact, I take that back. 19 fit players. They started off with, then again, that leaves them a good 19. You can only play 18, but it does restrict the options.
It does.
As the ball goes out towards Feast. Now the ball on the ground. Players working very hard. All I can see is a lot of rear ends there, Robbie, but the ball has emerged, but the umpire will have to bounce it.
Well, I'm waiting for that player to get up. It's Zilla, who was absolutely... The Blues were away there. If he wasn't as desperate as he was, the Blues were on their way.
Bounce down. Feast gets rid of the ruckman, then taps. Lambert's first there. Feast in there, working like a rover, the big ruckman. Continually finds a gap. He finds Weatherall. Irvin now. He's tackled while he kicks. Fruin's going to be caught out of position again. White. Oh, what a goal for the Double Blues. Jared Quick gets his second for the day. Both in this last quarter. The Blues hit the front. Only 30 seconds short of time on. Sturt, 12 goals, 7.79 on the Mile End Office Furniture scoreboard. The Eagles 12-5-77 as we check scores.
Albertson Oval, Port Adelaide. And 15-12-90, 6-4-40, Central is now 15-67, Cardiff West Adelaide, 16-14-109, and Glenelg 19-5-119, to South Adelaide 12, 7-79, back to Adelaide.
He's had an indifferent, sorry, Kim, he's had an indifferent day, Twit. He's been fumbling the ball most of the day. He's read the ball pretty well off the pass, but I thought Leals had the better of him, but two important goals in this last term.
Yes, two crucial kicks. The ball back centre field. Big Wiggins wins the tap, but it goes straight to Weatherald, so it's the Double Blues going into attack again, and the mark's been taken by Feast. Incredible effort by the Double Blues, trailing nearly all day. The handball goes out wide into attack. It looked like it could have been Kennett on the outer side there. Now a loose ball, players tackle. The umpire blows the whistle, and we'll have a bounce about 30 metres out from the Double Blues goal. And we've had 25.5 minutes, boys, and I tell you what, the Eagles supporters will feel robbed if they lose this one, because they've had it in the bag on a number of occasions.
Yeah, funny game footy. Now it's the Blues that look like they have the legs.
Yeah, exactly. And well, about the 15-minute mark or 10, 12-minute mark of this final term, the Eagles got away to a 23-point advantage, and then they just took the foot off the pedal, so to speak. And you can't do that against a good side, and the Double Blues are a good side, or you don't win 16 games in a season if you're not.
And I can't recall who it was, but one of us three commentators did say that Sturt had a few surges left in them. And I think it was me. The ball thrown back into play, though. Continuary. Handball's off. Weatherald's coming to the game in this last quarter. Pesh fighting hard. Can they keep the ball in? They can't. 26.5 minutes gone of this last quarter, and it's the Double Blues by 2 points.
Well, we knew you'd pump up your own tyres, Robbie, but it's a fair call.
It won't be long before either Andrew Reimer or yourself soon deflates me.
I tell you what, though, the Eagles will feel deflated here, and, well, what do they do, boys? There's no moves coming out from the bench. The Double Blues are just forming a slight wall across with Patura. He's got a distinct height advantage over Zillow, but the ball is still inside their 50 and about to be bounced, and it is. And the tap goes down in the direction of DeBias. He's over the top of it on all fours, close to the boundary line, and the Double Blue boys are happy to just take that over the line at the 27-minute mark. So perhaps only about a minute and a half, 2 minutes remaining. We've had the Eagles have kicked 3 goals in this quarter.
7 goals.
And the Double Blues, yes, so 7 goals. We'll have a couple of minutes left, I would suggest. Atkinson has the football. This is danger. No one tackled him. He lines up the goals. The snapshot's on its way. Oh, the little champ, the McGarry medalist, has banged it through. All of a sudden, a 9-point advantage to the Double Blues. Incredible game of football. They're on 13-7, leading the Eagles 12-5.
Filtration system. Waterways, a water spring in your kitchen. No more contaminated rainwater or filter. Top it up with Waterway. Convenient, safe, Call Waterways today on 8374-311 for a free taste test.
Back here at Adelaide Oval, it's the Double Blues by now 8 points. With only minutes to go, can the Eagles survive or thrust another attack? Pesh goes forward. Well, as he's been all day, Barnaby Frank. On this occasion, in fact, it's Maloney in front of Burton that takes a strong mark. So, disappointing day for Burton, and he was taken to the bench on one occasion. Maybe it's time again. Maybe it's too late. You'd think that it may well be. Maloney, half back line, a long kick, just hugging that boundary line as you'd expect. Wiggins over the top, got hands to ball and takes a good mark. Needs to move the ball quickly, though. Taking far too much time, not a lot of movement behind play. There's one player down, and it appears it could be a knee injury for Mark Kennedy as I quickly search around the ground. And Burton takes a strong mark. So a few problems here. Kennedy has had knee problems before. He's in some sort of pain.
They should stop the game.
Well, all they need to do is call for a stretch and the game will automatically be stopped, but they haven't done that. And Burton could take or could use the time. Burton from inside 50 kicks for goal, and they're still in this one, the Eagles. Don't worry about that. A goal to Burton puts them back to within 2 points with probably less than a minute to go here at Adelaide Oval, and Gavin Colville starts to prepare to come back onto the ground for a Mark Kennedy. Now, I'm not sure what the best move would be.
Well, they better get the stretcher out, boys.
They've got the stretcher. The stretcher's coming out now.
So play will have to stop, and this is a chance for both sides to regroup. I'm not sure who it will favour. Perhaps maybe it'll disadvantage the Eagles after kicking that goal. They just may lose a little bit of momentum, but there will be a stop of play for a couple of minutes here. And the score reads 13-5, 83 the Eagles, trailing Sturt 13-7, 85. So a 2-point ball game as we wait for Kennedy to be taken off on a stretcher. Andrew, if you've got some scores back there, we'll take them now.
Okay, West Adelaide leading by 42 at Elizabeth Oval. Port Adelaide leading by 50 at Albertson. And latest I heard from Glenelg and South, 19,519 the Bays to South Adelaide, 12,779. Back to Adelaide.
Thanks very much.
Great tipping.
Yeah, you're going well, Baz. What was that final score at the Glenelg Oval?
Oh, it's 19-5 to 12-7 in favour of the Bays.
So the Bays, and they had a few players out as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost Jamison, Bode, Corns, and made 3 other changes. So Kennedy being taken off the ground here, and we're at the 30.5-minute mark, Rob.
How important is this centre break? Well, whoever wins the centre break, you suggest wins the game.
Yeah, well, we can tell you in the centre bounce is Tobias, Corey Lambert, Pesh. Now, they can't all be there. One will have to go. That might be Tobias back out to the wing. So you'll have Wiggins, McClure, Pesh, Lambert's going out. So you've got 3 little men in there, and they'll be opposed to Atkinson, Weatherald, and that looks like Jared Twitt. So they were all 3, both sides have 3 smaller players there, all rover types.
Yeah, why wouldn't you at this stage of the game?
And Barnaby French is doing the ruck work.
Well, we got Feast at centre-half forward, who really has done a terrific job in this last term. I think it's Feast really that almost single-handedly, him and Atkinson, who have got him back in the game. I suppose you've got to throw Twitt's 2 goals in, but the big fella at centre-half forward, Feast, has been a dominating player.
Now, if there's a decent bounce here, Barry, you would have to back Wiggins to win the tap against French.
Yes.
And,
that's probably why centre-half forward is so open, I'd think.
And really, Robbie, you would think that Pesh would get on the attacking side. And at the moment, he's a right-hander, Wiggins, and well, we'll wait and see. The runner is out there for the Eagles.
And I think you'll see that Rogers, who's on the grandstand wing, will probably run vertically or, in fact, diagonally across that and possibly grab the Wiggins thumb. And if Burton keeps his passage open, it could be a winning play. I think that's why Rogers would be down there.
And Brucey Lennon is there to foil the plan. He should come in to cut Rogers out. But you would expect on a good bounce that Wiggins would win the tap. Let's see what happens. Jared Twitt just getting in his way there. That's not a bad move. The bounce actually goes back towards Wiggins, which actually favoured French. Now off the ground, a number of players trying to get the football. Gee, it's desperate in there. We may see a bounce. Trying to get his way out was Atkinson. Great tackle to Bias. We'll have a bounce again as the clock ticks away, boys. 32 minutes.
32 minutes gone. Remembering, of course, we lost about 3 minutes because of that stretcher taking Mark Kennedy from the ground, but there would be only seconds to go. We've had 8 goals in this last quarter, and the bounce down inside the centre square to be Wiggins up against French. French gets a good tap. Whose hand's going to reach the ball first? It's going to be Lambert, and he unloads too. Can they get out of trouble here, the Eagles?
Oh.
A top tackle by Kennett. Keeps the ball in the area, and it could be a winning tackle.
Tackle of the day.
That was tackle of the day. I think it was holding the ball because Brett Leal tried to take him on.
Tackle of the day.
There's the siren, and the Double Blues have stolen this game here at the Adelaide Oval. A great effort, a lesson in persistence. They are the top side, and they are victorious today. They've kicked 13 goals, 7-85 to get up by 2 points over the Eagles, 13-5-83. It has been a tremendous match of the day on 5DN. And boys, the Eagles led by 16 points at quarter time.